Mhm. Good evening, good morning, and good afternoon whenever you are watching this. Welcome to episode 16 of the MMAHOLICS. It's me, the boy Antoine, and my boy Nikki. Always. Um, Today we are joined by the infamous, the notorious Pick'em MMA. He's a cool guy. If you guys watch, yeah, facts, bro. Always gotta dress it up for you. If you guys ever watch his live streams, we're in there all the time, showing love. He's a real consistent dude. Always putting out good content. How you doing, Pick'em? You good, bro?
I'm good, bro. Ready to fucking start this card.
Yeah, I mean, we got one of the greatest, if not the greatest,
I think one of the best cards yet.
of all time. I honestly agree with that. I do want to start that off. I'm gonna start this off by saying that, like, I do. Yeah, you're gonna be kind of hard pressed trying to find a card on paper that is better, in my opinion. I would literally can't think of a single pay per view, whether it's through the single digits, the double digits, the triple digits, like that is better on paper than this. Of course, you got the UFC 100. Even how you had GSP and Brock Lesnar on the same card, like that was pretty ridiculous. And you had UFC 200. Of course, you know what happened with John Jones testing positive on the drug test, and like the main event was supposed to be DC versus Jones at the height of the rivalry. And they were both in their relative prime. And of course, John popped. Unfortunately, of course, that was picogram stuff and all that. Wishy-washy drug test stuff back then. And then, like, yeah, that was unfortunate. So that main event was Nunes versus Misha Tate, So, and of course, you had Anderson Silva versus DC on that card and things of that nature. Brock Lesnar also fought at UFC 200. But just comparing those two cards to this one, I think like this, this literally has like it's like how they said it. It's 12 champions on this card. 12 former champions or current champions. And like that goes to show you the quality of like the talent on this card. It's so hard to win a belt inside the UFC. So the fact that 12 of these fighters have done it, that lets you know like how insane this card's about to be. But yeah, how you boys feeling about this card before we get into it? You can give your opinion first, pick them. Go
I
ahead.
think it's from entertainment standpoint, it's one of the best cards ever. I'm not really betting this like crazy because as a fan, like I want to just watch the fights for mostly. But I got a couple of bets on this card, mostly as a fan. Like I just can't wait to watch these fights as a fan. And when you got money on fights, you're gonna be stressing. You're like, damn, I hope he cashes. Hope this one cashes. Like so. Personally, like I'm only got a couple of spots betting wise, but as a fan, I'm just so hyped, bro. I already got the pay-per-view and everything, like a couple weeks back. So I can't wait for it, bro. It's gonna be fucking. It's gonna be. I think it's gonna be one of the best cards. I mean, 299 was turned out to be pretty good too, right? Good
Mm-hmm.
bunch of finishes on 299. I think this is gonna be way better than we're probably gonna see all finishes except maybe one fight, maybe the Killer Harrison fight. I mean, now that Kayla Harrison can use elbows and stuff, so he might be able to get a finish here. In PFO, they can't use elbows and stuff, ground and pound. So I could see that also being a finish in the fight. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a historic night in the fight game.
I agree. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, you don't worry, Ernie, you didn't miss nothing. But I mean, we've been waiting for this for so long, dude. Like we knew 300 was gonna be stacked. We've been getting told about how good it was gonna be, and it's good. It's like good on paper. I mean, if you're a casual, you still love this, and if you're a hardcore, you love it even more because some of these fights are just perfectly made. I mean, you got Bobby Green and Jim Miller. Jalen Turner and Moicano is very tough. Yusuf versus Lopez. Those are just early prelim fights. I mean, obviously the first fight of the night, it's two former champions in two different divisions. So I mean, it's good. We've been waiting a while for this. I'm excited. And I agree with you, Pick'em. I'm not betting on this one. I do have a last leg of my parlay on it though. I got Charles Oliveira was the last leg of my parlay. It matched with Dustin Poirier and like two other legs from a while back. So this is the last leg of it. Just because when I saw that plus money, I put money on it right away. But I'm not betting on nothing before Charles. If Charles hits, I'll flip that and put the rest on Max Holloway money line and call it a night. But yeah, I just want to enjoy it, man. Order some Domino's or something, drink some wine, have a good night.
And that's it, man. That's all it comes down to. Before we get started, we already got our first guest in the chat. What's up, Ernie B? Unfortunately, man, we can't start over because, for the sake of time. But of course, we love having you here. What's up, Ernie B? Always love having you, bro. And with that, y'all, we go ahead and crack open the topology. Go ahead and get this card going. Man, and even just to show you just how stacked the card is, bro. I mean, it's it's pretty insane. When the first fight of the night is like literally Davis Figueiredo versus Cody Garbrandt. Now, of course, we know these two were supposed to fight at flyweight. Looking at the Kai Kara France fight, thank God that did not happen. You feel me? Because I love Cody Garbrandt. Obviously, really nice guy. Super great character. But yeah, you go ahead and give your first pick. I'm off the top. Go ahead,
I
man.
mean, this is a tough fight, man. It's a tough fight. All right, am I going first or are you going first, Nikki?
You got it.
You got it, bro.
I got it. Okay, so I mean, Figueiredo, moving up. I mean, he moved up from flyweight and looked pretty good out there at bantam in his debut against Rafa, who's a decent boxer, has better durability than Cody Garbrandt. But Cody Garbrandt, he's got a couple of wins now. He's getting his confidence back. He came back after a layoff. He did. I don't know why he moved on to 125 and fought Kai Kara France. I guess he was trying to be double champion, but obviously that didn't work out for him because his chin was way worse at 125. So at bantamweight, I feel like his durability is not as bad, but still, I mean, when he fought Trevin Jones in that fight, he was wrestling for his life. In the third round, he got cracked, and when he eats a punch, it doesn't you don't like the way he just the way he reacts is not good. He just kind of gets reckless. He wants to get it back, and this is a tough one, man. I don't think the odds would be this wide for Figueiredo. 3-1 is just way too wide. I'm not betting this fight, man. Because I actually think Cody Garbrandt's still really good. He's got really good striking, really good power. He's big. He's gonna be much bigger than Figueiredo here. But and also Cody Garbrandt has nice striking. Like he's fast for a bantamweight. He used to have speed advantage over all these other bantamweights. And I'll still think he's got speed even right now. But it's just a durability, which is why I can't pick him here. I gotta go with Figueiredo by knockout, but hopefully, I hope Cody gets it done, bro. Like I'm a big Cody fan. He's a good dude. I hope he gets it done, but just taking a pass from this one. I can't wait to watch this one because it's gonna be a fun fight. I think we're gonna see a finish here. Fight doesn't go the distance. I was thinking about it, but both these guys are counter strikers, so we could also see this going the distance if they just don't want to press the action. I think it goes. I don't think it goes the distance, but I don't really have the best rate on this one. Odds would be closer. So if you're betting either money line, is definitely dog or pass, but I just can't get there because of durability for Garbrandt. That's just that's my opinion on this one. But I'm picking Figueiredo by knockout, but could go either way.
Of course. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, I like this one. Off rip, I think I'm taking Figueiredo on this one. I was trying to weigh out the options. A lot of people online was like, Cody's very quick, and he is, but what are you chasing in this fight? You're chasing Figueiredo. Figueiredo moves left and right really well. I mean, he's going back and forth. He's light on his feet. You saw he was moving all around the octagon in the Rob Font fight. And he could go for 5 rounds. We all know this. So it's only 3 rounds. Again, 2 fights in a row. These are only 3-round fights. So he has more to give with less
time,
less to do. You know what I mean? Like he could do that for 5 rounds. Now he only has to do it for 3 rounds. Now he could give a little bit more in those 3 rounds. Last fight, he also said at the end, sorry for not putting on a show. Now he's opening at 300. I hit up Pick'em this week and I said, what do you think about a Figueiredo sub? And he told me, would you call, what was it, a club and sub?
I could see a club and sub, but I don't know, bro.
I like that.
I could see him hurting Cody Garbrandt, him shooting a takedown and then locking in a guillotine choke.
That's what I think. I think maybe that or an arm triangle or something, get him on the ground, just same. But I could see it. I know Cody has good wrestling and he could protect himself, but I mean, I think he's gonna chase Figgy and get caught. That's what I really think. I think Figgy's gonna throw the kicks, use his reach, and Cody's gonna have to chase him, and he's gonna have to beat the distance. Because Cody's bigger, but he's not longer. Figgy's definitely longer. He's got, I think, a 3-inch reach. I think he's going to have to chase Figgy, and Figgy's going to catch him, maybe in round 1 or 2. That's what I'm thinking. And sure, he can knock him out. I don't think there's one of those distance either, but I'm just going to say Figgy with sub. I'm not putting money on it, obviously. But I think Figgy will get the sub. That's what I'm going to put on my Tapology pick, Figgy by sub. Say round 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Even looking at this fight, first and foremost, when I say what's up to the boys, Colostrum and the boys Anakin in the chat, thank you so much for joining us. I'm gonna answer your question after this fight, Colostrum. Literally, bro, I'm gonna have it right here for you. And yeah, shout out to the boy Anakin as well. Yep. And yeah, man, he's actually the boy Anakin's going with Cody in this one. Yeah, man. This fight for me, like I was thinking about it a lot, man, and I really feel like even looking online at these online narratives, I really feel like a lot of these people are like, like for just a little too harsh on Cody Garbrandt, in terms of his career. You feel me? A lot of people may make it seem like he just has like no chin, like it's like a gust of wind. He come and like he's gonna get dropped. I mean, like he can't even fight like Roddy Yaya without like getting dropped. The stuff like that. You feel me? I think a lot of people got to realize, man, even when it came to like, okay, that whole narrative started at the TJ Dillashaw fight. Because obviously he was undefeated going into that fight. He was 25 years old. You feel me? When that fight happened, you feel me? Going against TJ, who was 32. He had a lot of experience. You feel me? He already held the belt already before that. You feel me? And I really feel like a lot of people don't really give Cody like the slack for being under like not even pressure. You feel me? It's more so just about like the whole situation. Like this dude was a part. He was a training partner. He was in your camp. And like, he really like, y'all were friends at one point, and like, it got to a point where things turned sour, and now this dude knows some of what you can do. That you trained before, y'all probably scrambled, wrestled before, you probably they've had striking before, sparring sessions. So it's just like in terms of the TJ stuff, I really feel like he followed just a lot of emotion, man, a lot of emotion. That no one really like gives him a lot of credit, like a lot of slack for. Anybody could be knocked out if they're going there, just like throwing, like swinging right over their hands and getting clipped and stuff like that. Plus, people act like Cody didn't almost knock TJ out in the first round when they fought the first time. He literally had TJ walking back to his corner like on wobbly legs. You can see it in his shoulders when he was walking. Like TJ, he literally almost knocked him out in the first round. It's just knowing Dwayne Ludwig, he came out, to TJ's coach. He landed that head kick. I think that took all the confidence away from Cody when that leg kick landed. It flew him across the octagon, and it really like just it really took his confidence away. Even then, just going to my full point about saying all of this, I really feel like, man, the worst loss he ever had was the Kai Kara-France fight, and like that's without a doubt, it's the worst loss he's ever had. That was the only loss people could say like, oh nah, man, this dude's chin's really gone. Like, because in terms of like the Pedro Munoz fight, again, anyone can get knocked out if you're just spamming right over hands with your chin up in the air and just get hit. You feel me? We just saw Francis Ngannou get knocked out by Anthony Joshua, and we had never even seen Ngannou rocked before. You feel me? So any man can be knocked out. Any person can be TKO'd. Aspinall, not saying it's gonna happen, absolutely not. But Aspinall could knock out John Jones, man, and that would break our heart. I mean, like, I can't speak for everybody else, but that break my heart, man. Seeing John Jones, after dominating all those years, get knocked out by a dude that everyone wants him to lose to, So I really feel like, man, with this fight, man, it's really more so about Cody's approach. I still think it's like, I agree with what Pick'em said. His hands are extremely fast if you really look at him when he's fighting. Like, how fast they move, and to hit that hard and move that fast, I don't think that talent has gone anywhere. I really think he just lost, really just lost some fights that like just he fought emotional. If Cody was really done like that, he would have lost to Trevor Jones. He would have lost to Brian Kelleher. That's why they gave him those fights.
He almost did lose to Trevor Jones.
He had to post in the third round and play around like those.
But it's like for me, at the end of the day, like it's it's still a fight. You feel me? It's still a fight. Like these dudes, these dudes hit hard. These dudes punch fast. You feel me? And I mean, I get it. You feel me? Like, obviously, he was trying to get his confidence back with that one because, Nikki didn't like him doing the Ali shuffle and all that.
That fight, you don't deserve to do it. He was doing it just to, like get a crowd reaction, but you didn't do nothing that deserved it, man.
He didn't like he was doing the Ali shuffle and stuff like that. And I get it. With the Trevor Jones fight, you could definitely make the case, he struggled a little bit more than he should in that fight. He went out there, knocked up Brian Kelleher, and, man, it's just like, and also on the Figueiredo side, of course, being purely objective, he's coming up in this weight class. I think the fact he doesn't have to cut weight anymore just does a lot for him. Like, it does so much for him mentally, obviously physically. Yeah, and I've been on this fight for 30 minutes, and I feel you, Colosseum. It's just this card, man. And honestly, it's the fight, man. It's honestly the situation. If Cody beats if Cody beats Davis Figueiredo, that's obviously going to change his career. Throw him back up into the top 10, revive his career. I should say he's already won the belt. And for Figueiredo, like I was saying, not having a weight cut, that's a lot for him. It makes him like obviously more powerful. We saw how he did against Rob Font. He dominated Font. And we also saw Rob Font when he fought Cody Garbrandt. Cody didn't get knocked out in that fight. Now y'all could say Rob Font has pillow hands, but we saw Rob Font knock out Adrian Yanez, who had never been knocked out before. You feel me? So I feel like I said all that because I was watching stuff online this week, man, where people were just like, I feel like it's really just deeper than that. I feel like Cody went out there and some of those fights he really shouldn't have lost like that, And I agree with Anakin. It really does come down to it. One of these dudes get knocked out. Fuck me, man.
I don't think Garvin's gonna wrestle here. It's a big card, 300. I think they're gonna go for it. They're gonna strike. They're not gonna wrestle. I don't think they're gonna make it boring.
He's not gonna want to be in the clinch with Figgy either. I mean, Figgy hits him with the elbow, it changes a lot real quick. You know what I mean?
So and again, I just really wanted to. I said y'all are funny for that. I really just wanted to really give a lot on this fight because I saw a lot of it just throughout over the weekend and throughout the week. Man, I really feel like it was deeper than that. And I wanted to say all that because it's gonna go with my pick. You feel me? I'm gonna go with Davis Figueiredo, bro. I just think right now, like not even like on the safer pick, I think like he's still like that's why I mentioned the weight cut. It extended the duration of his prime in terms of his performances. You feel me? I really think that he could come out here, even though he's at a height disadvantage. Like Nikki said, he has the reach advantage. I think he will be able to catch Cody because obviously we have seen him knocked out before. We're gonna see how it goes. But yeah, if I had to choose, I'll probably say like a second round TKO for Davis Figueiredo. And yeah, y'all, thank y'all for giving the time on this fight. I just really like stuff like that. Like it's deeper than that. You feel me? I could still say this, and like Cody could still win. You feel me? So but yeah, we'll see what happens. Obviously, it's a crazy card. Seeing how long we was talking about this fight, this lets you know how crazy this card really is. And yeah, man, moving on to the second fight of the night.
I could take us into it. I could take us.
Sure, go ahead. Absolutely, absolutely.
We got Bobby Green versus Jim fucking Miller. I'll say it for you since they won't say it for him. This one's a banger. I mean, we got Jim Miller. He's fought on UFC 100, 200, and 300 now. That's the narrative. Bobby Green, he fought on 200. And if I don't recall, wasn't he one card off from fighting on UFC 100?
Right?
I
was
think
he fighting back then?
I'm almost positive he missed.
Who? Bobby?
Bobby, right?
Oh, word. I know because Jim's been in the UFC since like 2007.
Yeah, he missed UFC 100 by one. No, I could have sworn. No, maybe I'm.
No, he was in Strikeforce before that.
Okay. So he missed. Was it 200? I think he might have missed by. He missed 200 by. Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, because he fought. 199. He did fight
so he missed 200 by one card. But I mean, this one's a legendary fight. You got two veterans. And these aren't like the veterans that are just like a foot out the door. I mean, Bobby Green got brutally knocked out in his last fight against Jalen Turner. And it's interesting that they're both returning on the same card. I'm pretty sure everyone thought Bobby Green was going to be out a little longer than this. Even though it felt like it was a long time to UFC 300, that was anticipation. I think this turnaround's a little quick, if you ask me. But hopefully he's 100% because this fight is really good if he is 100%. See, with this card, I didn't write picks down. I was going off the dome.
Me neither.
I want to go from the heart with this one. It's just Bobby Green. It's like this fight is catered to him a little more because, I mean, Jim Miller, he's not quicker. I don't think he's quicker than Bobby Green. I think Bobby Green might have a little better reflex than him. Jim just has like really good power on him. But Bobby Green's a great counter fighter. And I think this fight just suits him just a little more. So if Bobby Green's coming into this fight 100%, it's like I have to take him. I think he could catch Jim Miller in round two. It feels weird not taking Jim Miller on this one just because of legacy purposes. And like I said, if Bobby's not 100% when I watch the fight, I'm going Jim. But as of right now, I think Bobby Green catches him with a counter.
Go ahead, pick him.
I'm taking Jim A10 Miller, bro. Let's fucking go. Jim Miller's gonna knock him out. And yeah, I think Bobby Green, he'll get like kind of reckless sometimes when he's in that flow state. He'll like keep his hands down too much and bring them up to block his head when people are landing hooks on him. Drew Dober did it. Turner. I'm not even gonna look at Turner fight because Turner is like really good finisher. He's really dangerous on the feet. I think he caught him with the overhand right, like a really far off. And Jim Miller, if you look at his style, he'll like kind of explode with his hooks the way that his Mota, and he'll like explode with it into those left hooks, right hooks. Like I could see him catching Green. As I like Green too, man. I'm a big Green fan too, but he's not. He doesn't really have power other than knocking Rand Dawson. I mean, that's the guy that he knocked out starts in the first minute. He doesn't really show power, so I don't think he's knocking out Jim Miller. Jim Miller's only been knocked out like once by a head kick from Donald Cerrone and once by a knee from Hooker back in the day. That was like a long time ago. And I don't think Green's gonna knock him out. I don't think Green's gonna be able to take him down or anything. Jim Miller's can. I think he's gonna be chipping away with those leg kicks. And obviously Green's gonna be much quicker. He's gonna have the better boxing. But I could see him dropping his hands and showboating out there with the crowd. It's a big card. And I could see Jim Miller catching him and knocking him out. I'm going Jim Miller second on knockout. He's gonna knock him out. And I think the fact that the late stoppage in his last fight for Green doesn't help his case here either. Took a lot of damage in that fight. He was out cold a couple of times. I mean, he woke back up and he was out cold. The referee just wasn't there mentally. I think it was just wasn't there. I don't know what was going on with the referee there. Yeah, Jim Miller is gonna knock him out.
Yeah. Before you go, Anton, I just want to say one thing. I know I am picking Bobby Green, but I think it's important that people realize he was losing that Tony Ferguson fight. There was definitely a way that he could have lost that. And winning in a first round knockout it's impressive, but it doesn't mean you're better than someone. That I just want to say, like his last few, like his win loss, like you come down right here, like lost to Jalen, beat Grant Dawson. This Tony
he was losing
Ferguson
to Jared Gordon too. Yeah, he was losing Jared Gordon too.
Man, so it's like he's not on the best skid. I do want to say that I am rocking with him, but I'll admit he's not on the best skid right now. Because look at everyone else who beat Tony Ferguson, and you got a little sub at the end, which is like props. That's very good fighting instincts, but like because the eye poke, and Anton, I was saying that OD that night that the eye poke changed everything because Tony was going crazy in that first round. Yeah, I'll let you get into your pick for sure.
Yeah, man. I was gonna go with Jim Miller on this one, most definitely. Jim fucking Miller, to be exact. I just think, man, he's really hit a second prime, damn near. Even coming off the Jesse Butler knockout, even that knockout in particular is really just to have that kind of power this late in the game. And like even being this late in the game, he has so much experience. So there's not going to be anything no one has can show him that he has not seen before, whether if it's a crazy jab, whether if it's a great leg kicks, whether if it's crazy wrestling. He's prepared for all of it, whether it's on the feet, on the ground. He still has a good chin. And I know he trained his ass off for this fight. 1,000% he did. He knows how lucky he is to be here. A part of the whole allure of the whole Jim fucking like seeing him on the trailer in the 300 trailer. Like when I read his name, I say Jim fucking Miller just like naturally because it's just like he knows that Jim Miller is 20, 26, and 16. In the UFC, that's 16 UFC losses, man. But that's 26 wins. I think the highest he ever got was like a title eliminator. You feel me? So he never even got to fight for the belt after having all of these fights inside the UFC, bro. So he knows that. Like he's not even ranked at the moment. You feel me? I think Bobby's ranked, so I think he could get ranked if he wins this fight. But it's he's not even ranked at the moment, so he knows that yeah, man, he's here because he's a fucking veteran. Like he's a fan favorite. He's been around for so long, and he just deserves to have the spot. And just that alone, I think he's extremely grateful just to be here. And yeah, man, I think he's coming in really inspired. And then, yeah, again, the skill set, just great. Still has great boxing, great jiu-jitsu, and really good instincts after gaining all that experience as well. So I'm gonna go with Jim Miller too. Yeah, close fight though. It really all depends how Bobby comes off. Like how Bobby comes off that Jalen Turner shit. Really watching that finish, Jalen went for like an extra like 10 seconds, just still.
And they
like,
all landed. I saw someone saying on Twitter they didn't land clean punches. Bro, that shit was
They were
behind the
landing
ear.
clean.
On this,
That was
on
bad.
they were clean punches, man.
Like, bro, that like seriously, like that's the kind of shit that like. I mean, bro, you can gain so much brain damage from like that one instance. Like it's like getting jumped for your wallet or something like that. Like for real, bro. But yeah, moving on to the rest of the card. Great fight this is. Great fight that is, man. Got a first lady fight of the night. Of course, 2 strikers still. Gonna have a good time on this one. Yeah, man. This damn, man. Again, like it's like when Nikki said I didn't write anything down, man. So I'm literally just like winging it as we go along. Of course, I did the research as always. Of course, we know who these 2 girls are. Jessica Andrade, very aggressive, very, very profound striker, former UFC strawweight champion, has great overhands, decent leg kicks as well. She was on a really bad skate. We know she lost to some really good competition, though. Even losing to Tatiana Suarez like that, and when it came back with the bounce back win over Mackenzie Dern, knocked her out the way she did. And some people had Mackenzie beating Andrade in that fight, so it was good to see that she's still motivated to be here. Marina Rodriguez, great Muay Thai striker, great elbows, really great in the clinch. Decent clinch game too when trying to clinch up the opponent as well. It's a pretty close fight in my opinion. Man, Brazilian on Brazilian violence. Man, fuck, man, because it's really a matter like because we saw Andrade just get stiffened by Yan Xiaonan like that. Like she was out cold for a while, man, and that really showed that her chin is going. Like how, like her chin is going, man, and I think what was that a matter of her just charging for her with her hands down and getting clipped, or was that really a matter of her losing her chin, man? Because Mackenzie didn't offer the best striking on the feet in her last fight compared to this girl who definitely is. So, man, I'm gonna go Jessica Andrade, bro. I think just with this card. I think it's going to motivate her a lot. Not many girls survive better in the chaos than she does. We saw in the Mackenzie Dern fight that she's still really composed with the boxing. I think she could have a kind of like, not like to that extent of dominance, but similar to like the Lauren Murphy performance, that she was just really calculated, trying to just like walk the opponent down. A height advantage is not going to stop her at all. She's dealt with that plenty of times. And like I said, she does have good leg kicks as well that she can use to neutralize her footwork. And like her Muay Thai, how she has to walk her down. So yeah, man, I was gonna go with Andrade on this fight, man. It's a close one though. How you feeling, Pick'em? Go ahead, bro.
I personally think Rodriguez is gonna win this matchup. I'm pretty confident Rodriguez here. I think she's a better striker. She's fought decent strikers in the past, like Natalia Silva. In the past also, she's gone through. I mean, the Lemos stoppage was early, and I was on Lemos there. I was a pretty big underdog, but Lemos stoppage was way too early. It was a standing TKO. It wasn't like Rodriguez was really rocked. We never really seen Rodriguez get knocked down or like knocked out like cold or anything like that. We've seen Andres get finished, even though I would give Andres some credit because he's a former champion, fought a lot of top girls. But we've seen her finish like 8 times at UFC level. Like that's a lot of times he's been finished now, and obviously, she has a grappling edge in this fight. I don't think she's really going to wrestle. She's going to throw down. In the Yan Xiaonan fight, she's spamming like 4 left hooks in a row. And she got knocked out with a counter from Yan Xiaonan, who's not really known to knock girls out on the feet. I mean, she's like a more of a point fighter. That was Yan Xiaonan's first knockout in the UFC in like 10 fights. I think she got like 10 fights or something. That was her first knockout in the UFC. And that was in the first round. And Andres, she was out cold. And I think Rodriguez she's going to use that reach height, and she's going to be much better. She's going to have better Muay Thai. And I think she's going to catch her with those knees up the middle. And as long as Andrade doesn't get a takedown, I think Rodriguez is going to win this pretty easy. I think it's going to be easy striking matchup for Rodriguez. And the only way you beat Rodriguez is you get a takedown on her. You control her on the ground like Vernie Jandiroba did. And Lemos was able to just uses power, I guess. But I think Lemos has better striking than Andrade, to be honest. She's better, like she's got better setups on the feet. Yeah, I'm pretty confident Rodriguez. I think she gets it done. She's underdog right now, and I like the underdog odds on Rodriguez here. I think she's gonna get a late TKO stop. Is probably like third round TKO for Rodriguez here. She's piecing up Verna Jandiroba. She almost had her knocked out in the third round, and because Verna Jandiroba was tired because he was trying to hold this girl down for dear life, and yeah, Rodriguez almost knocked her out in the third round, and she's also fought decent competition. I mean, she's got one of the girls like Natalia Silva, who's got a bright future ahead of her right now. So I think Rodriguez is gonna win. Obviously, Andrade can catch her with a hook if Rodriguez gets careless, but I think Rodriguez is gonna be much better technical striker here. I think Rodriguez by third round or decision. Like that's the bet that I like. But I like Rodriguez as underdog here. I think she's probably one of the better underdogs on the card.
How you feeling, Nikki?
Yeah, I mean, you said it perfectly right there. Marina definitely is more technical, and Andrade, I think, is just like a stronger puncher, is what it comes down to. And I think these girls are just gonna strike. They're gonna just stand and bang for a lot of it, and Marina's just gonna be cleaner with her hits. But I think it's like a ticking bomb. Wait till Jessica catches her. I know Jessica's on a skid, but I've been taking her in the last 2 fights. More so, I want to see her like on a win streak. I like Jessica Andrade. Like when I first started watching, she was like one of the first female fighters I saw. I was like, oh, she's pretty cool. So I stuck with her. I think she could turn it around. I still think she's a good fighter. She's fought good fighters. You know what I mean? I don't like to discredit someone because they fought good fighters and lost. And there's always a time to turn around, hit a second prime, just like you said with Jim Miller.
Right.
This can be it. She's on 1 fight win streak. She could put it on 2 here. I think she could get a knockout or a TKO, obviously. But I think she could finish the fight, Jessica Andrade.
If she gets a finish, I think it'll be similar to the Katlyn Chukagian fight, where she really turns her to the body like that, just over and over and over, really using her disadvantage as an advantage, really trying to chip away at the lower region. We know no fighter is the same after ripping to the body at least 2 or 3 times, especially with a fighter that hits as hard as her. We're just gonna see how it goes, man. I do like picking this breakdown for sure. I think it's really just a matter of like who's really gonna implement their game plan more. If Marina, because I think Marina has to keep her at a distance the whole fight, because if she closes the distance, I think Andrade can like KO her.
It's scary.
I do think she can hurt her. Like whether it's to the body, anything like that. But it's a close fight though, man, for sure. Like that's why we got the boy picking here. Always gonna give good picks. You feel me? In his own analysis, that's why I love having him here. And yeah, man. Moving on. Shout out to the ladies though, man. Gotta love women's MMA, 100%. Yeah, man. Yeah, it's another one. It's another one. You go ahead, Nikki. You go first, bro.
So we got Jalen Turner, one of my favorite lightweights, believe it or not. Obviously, we know Islam's number 1 for me, but Jalen Turner, I like, and that Dan Hooker fight, I know he didn't do as good in the 3rd round, but I mean, Dan Hooker is a good opponent. I like Jalen Turner. Anakin, you always, like, ever since you came into our chat, you throw out like almost 100% of the same picks as me. I got Turner by knockout in this one. I think he's gonna stop any kind of grappling that Renato Moicano goes for. Like, it's just Jalen Turner is good all around. Like, the only thing you can take from him in his career, like, he had some skids early in his career, but it's just like some weight cuts and stuff. That was the only thing. He's really big for lightweight. It's tough. This fight's good. I don't think they're on the same level at all. I think Jalen Turner is definitely 1 step ahead of him, in my opinion. And it's just like the kicks. He just knows how to use his range, and it's going to be tough because once they get through, I mean, Jalen Turner could grapple. He could wrestle. He's at underrated jiu-jitsu. I like him in this fight a lot. Like, what's the odds? I haven't really looked.
Minus 230 for Turner.
That's fair. That's exactly honestly where I would put it. And everyone's going with him for knockout. Okay, I'm not in this alone. I thought some people would take Moicano, sub him or something. But yeah, I like Turner a lot in this fight. I mean, like I said, he's one of my favorite lightweights, so I'll probably pick him for the most part regardless. He has like that Charles Oliveira build for lightweight, like very tall, lengthy, and he knows how to use it a lot. Some fighters don't know how to use their range, you know what I mean? But he definitely does. And coming off an impressive finish on Bobby Green. I think Moicano should be fighting someone like Paddy Pimblett. You know what I mean? Like he's
Mhm.
good. He's been around for a while too. He's like, I guess you'd call him a veteran. He's like 34 or something. I just don't. I don't think Taryn is a good fight for him. I also think Moicano should be on the Brazil card or something. But yeah, you guys can get your picks. I got Turner by knockout.
Yeah, man, we're agreeing on this one too. I got Jalen Turner by. I think it's gonna be a war in the first round, and I think due to the accumulation of damage from the first round, I think he'll get a second round TKO, like a kick to the body, something like that. Dan Hooker broke his fucking arm against Jalen Turner, and he won that fight because that fight was like 1-1 going into round 3. He stole round 3 to solve pure heart and will, just thinking about his kids back home. Like, that's how you want to fight like that, you know, like with a broken arm, and you have to throw punches. Like, man, you got to realize how, like, some people can break their arm and they're crying like a little, like a little girl, which is, you know, understandable. This dude's fighting with it, you know. Shout out to my boy Luis in the chat. You know, he's fading Moicano as well, unfortunately. You know, shout out to Money Moicano. Love his YouTube channel. Really, really cool dude. And yeah, it's just crazy. That, you know, this fight, man. Like it's pretty insane. But I was gonna go Jalen Turner by a second round KO.
Yeah, I think Turner is gonna get it done, bro. As much as a fan I am of Moicano, just the striking. Sometimes the striking looks pretty good. I mean, technical, but doesn't have power. He's not really dangerous on the feet. He's got no knockouts in the UFC in his whole career. I don't think he's got any knockouts. And I mean, dude, Dober fight. He was on his way to losing that fight on damage if he just didn't get that lucky takedown. Dude, Dober went for a judo throw in the third round. Give up a takedown, give up control on top from bottom. I mean, so Moicano was on his way to losing, and I had fighters not go the distance there, so I got kind of burnt on that spot there. And Moicano couldn't get the submission off, and I think Turner has way better ground game than Dober, like a lot better, like levels ahead of Dober. If you can't submit a guy like Dober, who you get down to the ground, you got really good positions over. And even if he gets a takedown here somehow, I could see him getting at least one takedown in this fight. But I think Turner's gonna be able to make his way back up. He's gonna light him up with those knees up the middle in the clinch. He's gonna be ripping those hooks. Yeah, I think Turner is gonna get the knockout. Submission also likely, like club and sub, but Moicano, it's gonna give Moicano time to recover, and I don't think Turner's gonna do that. He's smart. He's a smart guy. He's not gonna hurt him on the feet and then look for a submission, because that's gonna give Moicano that time that he needs to recover. It's going to be a knockout. I think he's going to ground and pound him. Hopefully, like, I really hope that Moicano can pull it out, but it's not going to happen, man. Turner's he's way too dangerous. But obviously, Turner is a tough guy to trust when fights are going longer, because he'll, like, kind of fall off. I think he has a adrenaline dump later in fights. Yeah, that Hooker fight, he was beating Hooker up in the early goings. He landed a flush head kick that he landed on Hooker. Hooker's chin just crazy at 155. He was able to eat it. Hooker was able to take his back, though, so that does scare me for Turner. Like, he did give up his back and almost let Hooker cinch in that rear naked choke. Obviously, like, lucky for him, there was no time left in that round. So, but Turner is going to be able to find the kill shot here. Inside distance for Turner is minus 165 or minus 180, I think, or something like that. You might as well take the money line in a parlay. You can play straight up to minus 230 for Turner. And you can also hedge Moicano maybe by decision if he's able to get enough control time. But the judges don't really care about control time now. And I don't think Moicano is going to be able to submit him. So Turner money line is the play here, I think. Inside distance is not even like close to plus money. Fight doesn't go the distance is honestly not bad either. What's fight doesn't go the distance here? I'm just curious. Do you guys know what fight goes the distance here? I gotta check it out. Let me see if I can pull it up here. It's gonna be like minus 250 or something, right?
Best freezer food. I like little Tostitos. Dip them in some sour cream. That's a good one. Throw them in the air fryer.
Also,
minus 400 for fight does not go the distance. You might as well take Turner by knockout. I mean,
it does or doesn't go the distance.
Doesn't go the distance. Minus 400.
Wow.
Turner by knockout minus 135. Money line is definitely the play here if you're playing a money line. I got money line in the parlay at minus 225, minus 230, I think.
Damn, man, that's pretty crazy, yo. minus 400. If it goes to decision, somebody's getting. Yeah, that'd be crazy,
And it
dude.
definitely can. It definitely can. It's not like these dudes are like the
These guys are
true.
tough, man.
Yeah,
That
I
would
mean, they,
suck,
they
man.
could both survive each other, but I think it's just, they won't. You know what I mean? But they
Hmm.
can.
Nah, I get it for sure. Yeah, I want to give a shout out to my boy Ken in the chat. Also, as my boy Mark. Yeah, to give my best freezer food. Try the Devour dinners. They're actually really, really good. I was surprised like how good they were. When I started eating those. Um, and yeah, man, shout out to the boy Mark and the boy Nate Brown as well. Boy Nate Brown in the chat, always in Pick'em's chats as well. Super, super nice guy, and Nate Brown is. And yeah, man, I get it. Like, for sure. Like, yo, like that goes to show. Like, I really feel like this fight can end like either way. Whether we're like it's Turner getting a submission over Moicano, whether it's Moicano like getting a knockout over Jalen Turner, because you've seen Turner finish before. Like, it's gonna be really, really, really big banger. And yeah, man, like I'm honestly looking forward to it. But moving on though, to the next fight. Thank y'all so much for joining us.
Banger. Sorry, banger.
Are you straight, bro? It's okay. Yeah, nah, this fight. Yeah, man, you go ahead and go first, Nikki. Go ahead, bro.
I'm gonna break this one down.
Absolutely.
Dude, this one took me the most research to pick a pick. At first, it was the main event, but this one is tough, man. Because I mean, bro, both of these dudes went to wars with like good fighters in their division. Like Diego went to that war with Mavsar. That was on short notice, and Mavsar didn't know. I don't think. Do you think he even knew who Diego Lopez was? Like he might have heard his. Do you guys actually think that he knew who Diego Lopez was before or not?
Nah, he fought on Contender Series a while ago, but he had
That's what I'm
lost.
saying. Unless he was tapped in, he probably didn't even know Diego Lopez. And Diego came in there, and he had at least like what was it, 2 or 3 submission like good subs in on him. I remember he had like the foot leg lock or whatever, the heel lock. And then we all know Sadiq in his last fight with Edison Barboza, he had that crazy first round, and then from there on, he was just like each round got worse for him, and Edison was just beating him to death. But that first round was really good. I mean, he almost finished Barboza in that first round. So
Yep.
these dudes both can go to war. But the thing with Sadiq, like he has that crazy right hook that just lands. And before that last Barboza fight, like he was just tough. Like I think if that Barboza fight didn't happen, people would look at him as like people wouldn't be taking Diego as much as they are, I don't think. Just because of how bad he looked towards the end of the fight. But this is only 3 rounds. This one's really hard for me.
It's hard, bro.
I'd like Sadiq Youssef by TKO possibly, but I think more a decision. I think he could survive a decision just because I think he could grapple with Diego. He has really good takedown defense, Sadiq, and he knows what he's doing on the ground too. Diego's just like very fierce. But like we were saying the same thing about what's her name last who's the girl that trains with Loopy? Like we thought Loopy, because same gym, had that aura, come from the same gym, and she lost. And I like Diego. I know he runs stuff around there. He's like a little higher up on the chain, but this is a tough fight, dude. Sadiq Youssef is good, bro. All the highlights you watch of him, he's a damn good fighter. Diego just gonna come at you. That's the only thing, though. I think Diego can get a finish. Like he could definitely knock him out. Like there's no doubt about that. I like Sadiq Youssef in this fight.
Go ahead, Pick. You can go second.
I mean, I agree. Sadiq Yusuf is really good. He's got like championship experience, not championship experience. He's got 5-round experience now. Like he fought at Barboza, and I had a bet in Barboza, 2 units in Barboza plus 155, and I thought my take is very gonna be done in that first round. Lucky we had Herb Dean in there, so we had that little leprechaun, juiced up leprechaun, Copeland. He would have stopped the fight. We had a Mark Goddard in there. He would have stopped the fight also. But yeah, Barboza's tough, man. He was able to make a comeback. But what I will say about Sadiq Yusuf is kind of like I wouldn't really say chinny, but he gets rocked a lot. He gets hurt a lot in his times. He got hurt by Allen. He got hurt by Barboza. Barboza was dangerous, obviously, but he is kind of like I don't know what happened after the first round. He just kind of fell off. Wasn't throwing a ton of volume, and Barboza was hurting him to the body with those body kicks, those body shots. I mean, Lopez is a kind of a headhunter. Like he's not really going to be throwing a lot of body shots, I feel like. But Lopez is dangerous. I could see Yusuf winning the first round, then Lopez taking over the second and third, and then finding a late submission, club and sub. I could also see Lopez rocking him on the feet and just getting ground and pound out. But I
Got
think
him, huh?
Yusuf is tough. I'm gonna go Lopez by submission. I haven't made any bets on this fight yet. This is the fight that I want to watch. I bet Lopez round 1 TK over Sabatini. It was plus 650. I should have put more money. Only put $25 on it. But yeah, that was fucking nice. That was a nice play there. But yeah, I respect Sadiq's skill set, so I haven't put my money on this fight yet. So I think it goes over 1.5 though. Like over 1.5 is kind of juiced though. I don't think I'll get there. Over 1.5 now is like minus 180. These guys are extremely dangerous, but I think it goes over 1.5. But I don't know if I can get there 2-1. Lopez minus 140. I'm gonna pick Lopez because I think he's more dangerous. Also has more experience than Sadiq Yusuf now. But Yusuf is not bad. He's really good. But I'm gonna go Lopez. The more dangerous guy, has the better ground game, has better cardio. Also, Lopez doesn't really get rocked a ton. He's got a decent chin on him. I'm gonna go Lopez here by third round submission.
Bet. Yeah, great breakdown, y'all. Yeah, man, it's 1-1. Guess I'll even it out. I was gonna go with Sadiq in this fight, bro. I just really think he's faced like you can say better competition than Diego Lopez has. Like I would like to see how Lopez versus Edson Barboza would go. That'd be a pretty insane fight. I think it'd be pretty crazy. Or Arnold Allen versus Diego Lopez. Like I'd probably pick Allen in that. I do think that Sadiq, like, he's 30. The main thing really be holding him back is his inactivity. He doesn't really fight that often. In terms of his skill set, he's a good boxer, great wrestler, really, really good wrestling. You can tell he's really physically strong in that 5'9" compact frame. You can tell he's really, really strong, super athletic. And I do agree with Nicky. I do think he can grapple with Diego. He just has to be very, really mindful of what Diego can bring on the ground. And I do think he is aware. He's also a really cerebral fighter, very smart. When he operates his game plan the right way. Diego, of course, has great power, great jiu-jitsu as well. Like it's, you really do both. I just think it's a matter of competition. I do think he's turned a corner since losing like a Tinder series, but I do think that Sadiq is still a really good fighter, even after losing, this Edson Barboza. It's still like he's still a good fighter, and like he was looking good in the Barboza fight too until he got he just got clipped with that spinning heel kick and he almost got finished, and like it was just really bad. That was a crazy comeback for Edson Barboza. But I think Sadiq's gonna come out, play this one smart. Really just wait for a chance to really get a takedown. Try to apply some pressure up against the cage, get some clinches. And like, yeah, also he's gonna meet him in the middle. He's not scared to strike with him. He has a good jab himself. He has good body kicks, decent leg kicks, and like I said, he's a great grappler himself. This is a really, really, really close fight. Probably one of the closest fights on the card, to be quite honest with you. I do agree with Pickham with what he says. It's probably I wouldn't bet on this fight. It's honestly really is close, unless you're just really confident that Diego could go out there and just finish Sadiq like that, or vice versa, Sadiq can finish Diego. But yeah, it's a close fight, man. I was gonna go with Sadiq. I'm gonna go with Sadiq by like. I think he'll win by decision, man. I think he'll just win, like get some takedowns here and there. Try to like just nullify him because he's not going to try to play any games on the ground. If he gets him to the ground, try to hold him there, do whatever he can. We saw Evil Lev was almost succumbed to the submission attempts from Diego, but I think that Sadiq, after watching all this film on Diego Lopez, because with Diego's quick rise, I think Sadiq's gonna have a game plan for it. So I think it's going to be a really good fight. I agree with what the boy Tai just said. Also, shout out to Tai. Go check out Tai's bets if you want to make some money, most definitely. I agree with him. This is a really, really close fight. Absolutely. Shout out to the boy Western Mass Climber in the chat. Always love having you. And thank you for joining us, Amberly Rose, as well. Her first comment, she mentioned that she likes Diego as well. And I get it. He's a fan favorite. He really came in. It's like the UFC by storm. So it's gonna be a fun fight. But yeah, me and Skinny got Sadiq, Nicky got Sadiq, and Pickham got the boy Lopez, and that's it. Good fight for sure, y'all. But yeah, moving on to the next one. Man, and like even just going through all these fights, it literally lets you know how like
These
crazy
main
this
events on these are like fight night main events, honestly.
over and over and over and over. Man, I love this fight. I'm not gonna lie to you. I know a lot of people online aren't digging it. But I'll let you give your pick first. Pick and go ahead, bro.
So Kayla Harrison coming over from PFL. So I think she's gonna make 135. I know a lot of people are concerned. She might not make 135 here because she's used to fighting a 155 in PFL. But I think Kayla Harrison's gonna get it done with the physicality, with the judo experience. She's a 2-time gold medalist in judo. She's gonna be able to use the strength and the size here over Holly Holm. But Holly Holm is gonna be a much better striker. I don't think Kayla Harrison's striking is it's not anywhere near. Even though Holly Holm doesn't have a lot of power anymore, she used to have power. She used to throw head kicks and stuff. So she's not really explosive anymore at 42 years old. Personally, I'm not parlaying Kayla Harrison at minus 500 here. Just can't do it. I think Kayla Harrison's gonna win with the grappling, with the control, she's gonna be able to throw ground and pound now. Also in the PFL, they don't allow you to throw elbows and stuff in there. So I think she's gonna be able to maybe land enough damage and win rounds based on that. But if she can't get takedowns, if she gasses out later, Holly Holm's not gonna have the finishing ability to finish her later. I don't think Holly Holm's really a finisher anymore. The only way I see Holly Holm finishing this fight if Kayla Harrison's like extremely gassed after the first 2 rounds, and Holly Holm just puts it on her. But even then, she's not. She's got pillow hands, just kind of like touches you and doesn't really have power. So Kayla Harrison by decision, but I'm not betting this one. It's gonna pass. I did bet on Kayla Harrison by decision and fight goes to distance over Aspinall in PFO. But here I'm just going to take a pass because I do think Holly Holm, even at 42 years old, coming in with all the UFC experience, like people aren't really expecting much from Holly Holm here. Like she's 42 years old. People don't really expect much from her here. She's been free-minded out there. She's going to fight freely. And Kayla Harrison has a ton of weight on her brain here. Like she's going to be, there's a lot of people are expecting big things from Kayla Harrison here. She's talking about she's going to be a champion. So like all the pressure is on Kayla Harrison here. I think she's gonna win, but I don't think she's getting a finish. I could see her like landing enough ground and pound to get maybe a late TKO, like a 3rd round TKO stoppage. I'm gonna go decision for Harrison. I think she's gonna win decision. If you can't finish Aspinall, even Aspinall was able to take her back a couple of times during that fight, and Aspinall took that fight on short notice. And I think Holly Holm's way better than Aspinall. So on the feed, Holly Holm might be able to hold striker on the feed as long as they're on the feed. But I think eventually Harrison's gonna be able to get those takedowns. She's really explosive. She'll like get those judo takedowns, and Harrison by decision is a pick. But I don't know if I can get there with my money. So it's not gonna be easy though, because Holly Holm is she's a veteran.
You can go second, Nikki. Go ahead.
All right, Lewis. I'll do you a favor. I'll be real quick with what I gotta say, because this is definitely the least underwhelming for me. I'll just be honest with it. Like I still like WMMA, but this one just doesn't really do nothing for me. I think Kayla Harrison is evolving in her career a little bit. She got better with wrestling. She got better with her takedowns. I would take Holly Holm if I knew she could finish the fight and land a head kick. Like, you know what I mean? If she could land that head kick again, but it's not guaranteed. She'll probably try and throw it. I think she's going to try and knock her out if she can, but I don't think it's there for her. I'm going to take Kayla Harrison by a decision in this one. I think she just wins solely off of like control time. But we also don't know how she's going to fight in the UFC. You know what I mean? So it's different. Like, will she be more aggressive that you can throw elbows and stuff on the ground? Maybe that could get her a TKO. You know what I mean? But that's my pick.
Yeah, man, the boy Tai adding some spice to the pot. You know, he's putting his opinion in the chat. He's saying that, you know, Kayla fought bums. You know, he's rewatched the Kayla Aspinall fight, and like, and I get it, you know, for sure. Like, and like that goes into what I was gonna say. Really on an optic situation going into this matchup. A lot of people hated this matchup when it was first announced. I was pretty curious about it, man, because everyone always wanted to know how Kayla would do inside the UFC, and she's here now. Like, she's actually here now. You know, it's gonna be pretty crazy when she's actually like on the UFC broadcast. Like, she's here now as a fighter, and like all the fights she can do. Like, I honestly like look forward to a press conference of Juliana Pena and Kayla Harrison. You know, I think Pena's shit talk is honestly some of the best And women's MMA, like when Pena said Amanda couldn't attract flies to shit, like that was pretty crazy. That was pretty crazy. Yeah, shout out to Juliana Pena, former champion. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it short too. I was gonna go with Kayla in this fight. It's off like the age, the athleticism. I think she's gonna really be inspired for this fight. Everyone's worried about the weight cut. She's a former Olympic athlete and she's a professional. I don't think she would ever sign up to make a contracted weight and like be lazy with her diet and not really take it serious like that. You have to really have a certain mindset to go into the Olympics, the biggest athletic competition literally in the world, and leave with 2 gold medals. I don't care if you're a male or a female. That's a different level of dedication and work ethic that she has. So most definitely, I think that's going to help her make the weight. And really want to just quiet anyone that thinks she's going to come in and just like be a dud. But I do see what Tata is saying. Like, man, she didn't beat any girls really that good over in PFL.
Pacheco's not bad.
Pacheco, yeah, of course, Lewis Pacheco, who's a former UFC fighter. Of course, we saw her lose to Pacheco, but she did beat Pacheco twice before that. So you could make the case that it was Kayla, not being that inspired to fight her the 3rd time, which could have led to her loss, but still it was a close fight. I think it was a split decision. So, I was going to go with Kayla Harrison. I think it's more so a matter of what she can do in the cage. She has decent hands, but it's really more so about her grappling. It truly is world class. If she's able to get a hold of Holly and take her for a ride on that judo trip, that's gonna be pretty crazy to see. It'd be pretty ironic, seeing how she did Ronda Rousey and all that. And I'm pretty sure Kayla Harrison and Ronda Rousey actually grappled each other in the Olympics a long time ago. Ronda was like 18 when Kayla was like 15 when that happened. So it was pretty crazy how it comes full circle with Kayla fighting Holly. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, I was gonna go with Kayla Harrison by decision. I don't think she'll finish her. I think she's just gonna get a lot of control time. She might take a little bit of damage until she gets the fight to the ground, like over and over and over, and it might end up being a close fight. And I think they'll just give it to Kayla, because they got to move on with the division, and obviously Holly's 43 years old, so I think Kayla could take it via decision. Mm-hmm. And again, Tata, I feel you, bro. Like, I get it, man. Like, you might be high, but at these odds, I just don't like it. But Kayla, that decision definitely should come through. I feel you, man. It's a close fight, man. Again, we never know what's gonna happen until they step in there. Just like with this fight. You go ahead and go first, Nikki. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, I'm excited for Aljo in the featherweight division. I was pleading that he would fight Brian Ortega, and seeing how Brian Ortega came back from his injury, I think that would have been a banger of a fight. But this one is very cool. I've seen some discourse online. Some people really like Calvin Kattar. Is it Kattar or Cater?
Cater. It's Cater. Cater.
Some people really think he's just going to put the hands on Aljo. And I get it. Aljo got knocked out by Sean O'Malley. He got caught on the chin. Aljo's a long striker. I mean, he only has a 1-inch reach advantage on Aljo in this fight. He's got a height. I don't take height as big as I take reach in fighting. I think reach matters way more than your height, and it's only a 1-inch reach advantage. I think Aljo could stand. You know what I mean? He knows what he's doing. He leans in a little bit. Like he gets in. He leans in with 2 hands forward. But he knows how to strike. But the thing with Aljo, bro, he doesn't have the belt. The pressure's off your shoulders. We heard that from Adesanya. How many times you hear from fighters when they lose that belt, it takes pressure off your shoulders. And he's gonna come in here and do what he did best down there, and it's getting to the back on these fighters. I think he's gonna get a rear naked choke off on this fight, right back to what he did, and he's gonna get right back up in this division. I'm a big Aljo fan. I changed my mind. Like when I first got into the sport, all the hate around him, and I kind of, as a new casual fight fan, I kind of fell for it. But when you watch Aljo's fights, bro, he's talented, dude. And he trains hard. And that fight with Cejudo, I think Cejudo won it, but that was a technical ass fight, dude. And he could kick, he could kick, he could take you down, and he could stand and strike with you. Sean O'Malley's just a generational striker. Calvin's a good striker too, but like he's not generational. I mean, Max Holloway's generational, and you saw what Max Holloway did to him. There's a difference. And what I would say about Aljo's a generational grappler. He's very good at grappling. I think he's going to get the back, and I think he'll get like a round 2 or 3 submission in this one.
Yeah, I can go ahead and get mine second. Yeah, man, I do agree with what you said. I feel like a big part of it is also the weight cuts as well. You know, obviously he's getting an extra 10-pound weight difference, you know, not having to cut that extra weight. He still walks around. I think Aljo walks around like 170 for bantamweight. That's an extra 35 pounds that he has to cut to make the weight. So, you know, only has to cut the 25 to make featherweight. Those extra 10 pounds make a difference for sure. You know, with the chin, mental clarity, physical strength, all of that. You know, going into the Sean O'Malley fight, because that's his most recent performance. Like, obviously, everyone knows what the situation is. People could try to deny it all they want. He did not get enough time to train for that fight at all. You never see a champion go 5 rounds and a split decision and then turn around in 2.5 months for another fight. Like I haven't seen like another champion like that's done that. The only one that was doing that was like Volkanovski. You feel me? And like that bit him in the ass eventually. You know, and right after UFC 288, you know, Dana was saying Aljamain can't get out of his own way and stuff like that. And Dana always says, "What? I never make fights on the night of a pay-per-view." Dana always says that, but he knew he wanted that O'Malley fight in Boston and stuff like that. And yeah, so obviously he didn't get a chance to train for that fight, whatever. And like, but the biggest part of that whole thing was just the weight cut. It was the 2 devastating weight cuts back to back in quick succession like that. And obviously, when it comes to his skill set, he's a great grappler. Like Nikki already said everything. I don't think that the reach is going to give him a problem. Aljamain's a great fighter. Like even before he got the belt, he had like, you know, one of the longest win streaks in the division. We saw him choke out a 5'11" Corey Sandhagen. You know, I get it. People want to act like Corey turned a corner. After that, he beat a 40-year-old Frankie Edgar and a Marlon Rice that really had like no chin at all. And then I get it. It was a split decision loss versus TJ Dillashaw, which a fight people thought he won, but it was still extremely competitive with TJ being on one leg for majority of that fight. So I still think that Sandhagen was a good fighter the time that Aljamain choked him out like that. I just think that Aljamain was on his way to becoming the champion right in front of people's eyes like that, and the disqualification just ruined everything because Mark Smith could have stopped the fight, which would have stopped Aljo from having to roll around and like do all that. Basically, that's what he was doing, waiting for the ref. Come on, ref, stop it. He didn't stop the fight. And Mark Smith, everyone knows, is, you know, kind of an inexperienced ref, and they don't blame a champion for breaking the rules when you're a champion and you're supposed to know all the rules. Being inside the UFC, so people to skip over those 2 massive factors and just go straight to Aljamain just to try to like, you know, just off narratives they saw, you know. But again, I respect all opinions, you know, and the people who don't like him, you know, it is what it is, you know. But and I only said that because I feel like that's gonna skew people's perception with this fight. I do think Aljamain can get the fight to the ground. He's faced taller guys before. Calvin Kattar's 5'11". I think Aljamain. The strength component in this fight is really interesting to me. If I had to choose, man, I think Aljamain's like really physically strong, man. You know, he's a lifetime wrestler. Wrestled his entire life. He didn't have to get into MMA and learn how to wrestle. He's like at least like a 3rd-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he gets the back just really, really, really sneaky. Of course, you know, Calvin Kattar has amazing boxing, one of the best technical boxers in the game, but we do know that he is coming off that 2-year layoff off a knee injury that he suffered versus Arnold Allen, and that's a big detriment for Calvin Kattar, having to have all those things and try to get back into fight shape and the fight speed. In this fight in particular, it's a really close fight though. Like I said, with Calvin Kattar, great boxing, great distance management, good chin as well. We saw him go take all that damage from Max Holloway, and he has a good chin, so he doesn't have to really worry about taking much striking damage in this fight like that. And yeah, man, with my pick, I was gonna go with Aljamain Sterling by like a Man, like, it's not even gonna be like disrespectful, man. I think he could get the sub in the first round. I think he could do it like the coach saying, hey, he can fight, come across the cage with a lot of pressure at first, just blitz across. It's it's not like that. Oh, Calvin Kattar has such power that he's gonna knock him out. I don't think Calvin Kattar's had a knockout win in like the last like 3 to 4 years. Even with the Kikichi Kaitse, that was a striking masterclass, by Calvin Kattar, and like he couldn't, he couldn't knock him out. Obviously, we know he knocked out Jeremy Stevens.
That's
So
4 years ago. Was his last knockout.
86, you feel me? So I really don't think that, and at 36 years old, like it's gonna be hard to come in faster than you ever have before, especially coming off the injury that Calvin Kattar's coming off. And a lot of people think, just look at that O'Malley fight and think, Aldo's gonna run and just get dropped by a jab and just it's over. Aldo may still has a really good chin. And like I think being up at featherweight, kind of like for Davis Figueiredo, is going to rejuvenate him, give him an even better chin, more filled out frame than he was at bantamweight. And I was going to go by a first round submission. And also I do agree. I do agree with what Ernie was saying about the Sean fight and all that. And even then, even to give credit to O'Malley, when the fight's over, O'Malley goes across the cage and literally wipes the blood off Aljamain's face because you heard everyone saying "fuck you, Aljo," all that stuff in the arena. And Sean went over to the cage and he was nice to him. He even went on Joe Rogan's podcast after that and said, "Hey, every joke got some truth to it." He said, "I felt bad after that because everyone was saying F you, Aljo," and he knows he didn't really deserve that coming off that whole illegal knee situation. And I get it, y'all, because people think he took pictures with the belt. If y'all were there on social media that night, it was his brother that made him do that. He literally kept saying over and over, "Say I'm UFC bantamweight champion. Say I'm UFC." He kept tugging his shoulder, being how an older brother was, because Aljamain knew, he knew what was about to happen, man. And
you got to think about that. Everyone around him is celebrating. Think about it from another's perspective. Right?
And also, they don't watch UFC, so they don't really know the situation with the dude winning a belt off disqualification like that. Continue.
Yeah. But if they all went home and everyone's celebrating, he just became a UFC champion. He's like, did I deserve that? If that was your sibling, you're gonna try and pick them up
man.
And then you got to remember he came back and he beat Jan. You know what I mean?
In the second fight,
he gets a lot of slack. Everyone likes to discredit his losses. TJ shouldn't have came into that.
He shouldn't have fought. He shouldn't have fought, bro. He shouldn't have fought. Period.
Let's hear what you got to say, Pico.
Please do. You've been talking for a minute.
This is a tough one, man. This is definitely a tough one because I was leaning towards Kattar early. I was like, he's the better boxer, has nice wrestling, takedown defense. But when you look into his takedown defense, he doesn't really fight anyone that's going to be wrestling him, taking him down over and over. Sterling doesn't really have the best takedown entries. He's gonna be relentless, so he's gonna be going for takedowns over and over.
I agree with that.
I think his takedown actually is 20% something. So maybe moving up, not having to cut the weight, probably helps him here. And also, Kattar hasn't fought in a long time, so I don't like picking guys that haven't been active recently. So I think Sterling probably gets it done. Also, he's been active. He's fought a bunch of times in the last 2 years. O'Malley, the O'Malley fight was kind of weird. I don't like his striking. I think striking is pretty bad. Striking is not as bad. He's a good point fighter. He'll score some points and does scorecards on the feet. Just as the way boxing to range of it is, I just don't like the way boxing to range. So personally, I'm not betting this fight because I don't trust Sterling at 2-1 almost. He's almost 180 here.
Right.
I feel like he's going to be able to get it done. Even if he doesn't get takedowns, I feel like he might be able to outpoint Calvin Kattar on the feet. But Calvin Kattar only needs to have a good couple of moments in this fight, rock him a couple of times, land the bigger shots. He's going to be the bigger guy in this matchup, obviously. But these guys are out of New England Cartel. They haven't been doing well this year. Rafon, New England Cartel lost. Angel Pacheco, New England Cartel lost. Connor Matthews out of New England Cartel lost. These guys can't catch a win this year. Maybe Kattar can turn it around, but I got to go Sterling. I'm not a big Sterling fan like you guys. I don't really like Sterling. I think it's salty. I think it's super salty, but I can't discredit his skill set. I think it's a good skill set. He's a championship fighter, and I got to go Sterling by decision. I don't think he's finishing Kattar. He might get his back, but I don't think he's going to be submitting him. Sterling by decision is my pick.
That's funny as hell to bring up the New England cartel. I'll take in losses.
Man, they
It's,
can't catch a break, bro.
it's funny as hell.
I'm a big fan of New England cartel, but they just can't
Yeah,
catch a
man.
break this year.
Absolutely. It's truly unfortunate, man. Especially with the font loss. But yeah, moving on though. Man, we're actually rolling through this one. It's only an hour and 9. Thought we'd be here even
Yeah.
longer.
This
Right.
isn't the
Facts.
main card yet. I thought that I keep
This
forgetting. it's the
should
main
be.
card.
It should be on the main card. Let's say that.
Switch it up with the Brenda's fight.
Absolutely. But yeah, we can go ahead and speed up a little bit too. Yeah, I was gonna go with Yuri Prohaska in this matchup. We know that Rakic coming off the leg injury that he suffered against Jan Blachowicz. Unfortunately, he could have won that fight. It was 1-1 going into 3, in my opinion.
Blachowicz was taking over though. Blachowicz was taking over.
Yeah, and you could see when it for me it's when Jan was connecting to the chin like that. Just super flash, and Rocket just eating that shit and still trying to that showed me, okay, this is about to be some shit in that fight. That fight was pretty insane. For how long it lasted, it was really unfortunate. That really sucked into my injury, bro. But yeah, of course he's coming back on the biggest pay-per-view of all time. They probably shelved him for that. Probably he was probably ready to come back around 290, something like that. But they just held on to him for the Yuri fight, or at least another big light heavyweight fight, because they knew that that's what they wanted to put him in. Yuri Prohaska coming off the knockout loss versus Alex Pereira. That was in November. This is in April. So he's had a little bit of time off to recover from that. Some people think that's an early stoppage. Yuri came out and said that it wasn't, but then he said that it might have been a little early.
It was early stoppage. He just didn't want to stay out there in the octagon. It was early stoppage, but
right. And then even then we can talk about that when the podcast. I have a theory about something some of that stuff when the podcast is over. But yeah, so for Yuri, it was pretty crazy, man. To see him lose the fight like that. Of course, we know Mark Goddard was the referee on that night. Mark Goddard kind of has a reputation for stopping fights a little early. Of course, trying to put the fighters' safety first. But I've always felt like if it's a title fight, if it's the main event, the last fight of the night, these dudes know what they signed up for. And low key, in my opinion, someone has to go unconscious for the fight to be over in a title fight. But yeah, man, we both know the skill set. Rakic has great leg kicks. Can cut you in half with his leg kicks. We saw what he did to Anthony Smith. Yuri has great elbows. Really unorthodox style. We saw what he did to Dominic Reyes. Has his hands down a little bit too much for some people's liking. It's really unfortunate. But of course, Yuri's 29-4 with that record. That style got him a lot of wins. He has a belt at home because of his unorthodox style. And yeah, man, it really depends how Rakic is going to come back after the injury on this one. But for me, again, like I already said, I was going to go with Yuri. And how you feeling, Pick'em?
Yeah, Jerry, his striking defense is one of the worst at light heavyweight, but he's tough. He's a dog. He's a fucking junkyard dog. So he's not even if you hurt him with a punch, he's not gonna stop moving forward. He's gonna put a ton of pressure on Rock is here. Rock is always obviously the more technical striker. He's gonna be landing those leg kicks, those body kicks. He's gonna go up top with the head kick. And getting outstruck by Glover Teixeira, not really the best look. Glover Teixeira is a grappler. He has decent striking, decent boxing, but he shouldn't be getting outstruck by Glover Teixeira. But Rock is coming back after 2 years off. And I had Blachowicz in that matchup, but obviously Rocco's looking good. He got a takedown in that matchup too, but couldn't really do anything with the takedown over Blachowicz. Blachowicz is a decent grappler, to be fair. So, and Blachowicz was when he was landing those leg kicks, the Rockets is he wasn't really checking any leg kicks. Rockets has nice leg kicks, but when you start throwing the leg kicks on him, he doesn't really check leg kicks. I could see Jerry landing some leg kicks here. Also, he's not really known for leg kicks himself. He's more of a boxer. It's he likes using his hands more often. I think Jerry Prohaska is gonna be able to he's gonna be able to hurt him eventually. This is a 50-50 fight, man. I gotta go with the guy that's more active, that just in there with Pereira, and that was looking decent. I mean, some people think he won the first round with the takedown and the control. Was landing some nice elbows from top position too when he got taken to Pereira. This matchup, I think Rockets is a better grappler overall, but I could see I could see Pereira I could see Jury just making her dog fight, not really giving Rockets a space that he needs to work. And I don't think Jury's gonna be as scared of Rockets' power as he was with Pereira, because Pereira has better technique and much more power than Rocket. Rocket is more of a point fighter. He'll like knock out with the head kick like he did Jimmy Manuwa. But I gotta go with Project here, but another 50-50 fight in my opinion, because Rockets, if he didn't have the layoff, I would pick Rockets here. But at the layoff, I can't pick a guy that coming off surgery, he hasn't fought in 2 years. And yeah, this is a tough one, but I gotta go with Project by a second or knockout. I think you can find the knockout here.
Word. Yeah, I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm on the other side of the straw on this one. I was trying to take Yuri, but it's like, okay, so he lost to Pereira. You know, people say what you want about the finish. If you put that to the side, you take the Glover fight. I mean, okay. So after when Dustin won his fight against Benoit, what were they saying? The guillotine now in 2024, people are realizing it is one of the worst submissions because it's one of the easiest to get out of now. Everyone in the UFC, good grappling defense, knows how to get out of guillotine.
Right.
Bro, Glover pulled that guillotine, and it was probably it was worse than any one of the ones that Dustin pulled. He had that fight won, bro. He had him stumbled. He had that fight won, and he lost him the game. I'm just going to throw out a quick reference. It's like when Ben Simmons passed the ball and ruined his career. You know what I mean? It's like that. You ruined
Trae Young.
You ruined it for yourself because you tried to jump the gun. He had that fight in the bag, and so in my head, it's like I give credit to Yuri, he won, but in my head, it's like Glover in another universe, Glover won that fight right there, and it's just like I know that sounds a little crazy. I know some people are picking Rakic, but like,
no, you're good.
He's gonna land cleaner strikes in this fight. Like, you're gonna land on Yuri. Yuri lets himself get hit so he could hit you back. And I think they're gonna spend at least maybe either the first or the second, but they're gonna spend a full round where Rakic is just like controlling it, getting him to the ground. Yuri gets back up, takes him down again. I think he gets like 3 or 4 takedowns in a round. But Yuri's gonna get back up every time. Like, he gets back up. He's a warrior. Like, he'll get a hold of your hand and he'll get back up against the cage, and then he'll get tripped. I think he'll get controlled in a round this fight, and that's going to give a round to Rakic, and then I think he's going to take another round off points. I think he's going to win this one on decision. It's UFC 300. Since I'm not putting money on these fights, I want to get a little risky with them, take some chances. I think he could take this one by decision, man. Also, like, Yuri's a warrior. I don't think he's technically one of the better fighters. Like, he's just like really strong and crazy. He's crazy, bro. That's the best way to describe him. But he doesn't throw a lot of leg kicks. He doesn't combo well. He just, like, the spinning elbow, stuff like that. That's what he's really good with, and he's just crazy. So I just like Rakic in this fight. Hopefully he comes back fully healthy, just like we were talking about earlier with a different fight. Just hopefully they come back healthy. I'm gonna take Rakic by decision.
Yeah, I feel you, man. And even then, before we get off this one, because of course we got the pay-per-view waiting for us, the greatest pay-per-view of all time. Yeah, man. Yeah, so just for a quick, just literally 2 seconds, just so we can move on. Yeah, Luis, like, so I don't know if y'all, like I said, Mark Goddard had ref UFC 295 main event with Alex Pereira, and what people thought, might have been a little bit of an early stoppage, for me, I was gonna say, I don't know if you guys were watching that PFL Paris event when that happened with Baki versus Cedric Doumbé. Yeah. And then Doumbé had that sort of glass in his foot, or like a splinter or whatever. And Cedric Doumbé said I want to remove it so I can continue. Mark Goddard went on. Yeah. Like, it's another point I was gonna make. Mark Goddard went and stopped the fight after that. Like, he said, he like there was no words being said. There was none of that. Like, because Baki was gonna press forward, and he stopped because he saw Cedric was trying to tend to his foot. So he stopped, and Baki looked at the ref like, yo, he needs help. And then Cedric was like, let me get my foot. And then Mark is like, what's wrong? And then he's like, no, fight, because he didn't want him to try to tend to his foot, because if you're gonna do that, I'm stopping the fight, And that's when he said, no, let me tend my foot. And that's you see them for one last time. They both do like that hesitant charge because he can't put his foot on the ground, and then Mark just stops the fight like that. So when that happened, the point I was gonna make was that Big John McCarthy, one of the first, one of the best referees to ever, exist in MMA, came out and defended Mark Goddard and said he made the right decision, saying like how like you can't just stop a fight in like the middle of it and try to tend to like an injury or anything like that. For me, I just thought with everything involved in that situation, that was my first time ever seeing PFL have a sold out like arena, not like no small venue that has like 5,000, but the way the cameras are set up, it looks like it's sold out like that. Nah, that was a good like 15,000 people they had. That was like a real UFC they had going on there. So for Mark Goddard just to pull the plug on like the main event like that, of course, in reality, doing his job, which is putting the fighters first, and I understand that 100%. It's just knowing that all these fans are here, you're about to just like kill this. All these people paid for this, you can't get that money back. It's just really anticlimactic. And like after that, on social media, there was nothing but vitriol and just hatred going towards Mark Goddard. Like it was crazy. I had never seen like
Mark Goddard. I'm not a big fan of Mark Goddard.
I had never seen that many people. Like
John Bill was on his way to winning that fight too. He was winning based on damage. Won the second round, was on his way to winning the third round too.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Baghdadi Sir, whatever his name is, won the first round with the wrestling, but John Bill was on his way to winning that fight based on damage, I think.
And the thing is, like, man, it was a good fight, and like that's money for PFL. You like that, And again, they can't get a refund, but the fans can damn sure be like, I'm never going to see that ever again.
Mm-hmm.
So they lose a lot of money in the future. The Paris event was like early March, something like that. I would just say my theory is like, man, when the referees came out for this card, I think it's Jason Herzog, of course Herb Dean, they might get like Dan Mulcahy or something like that, or like Dan Margliata or something like that. But I was just saying though, like we haven't really like seen Mark Goddard, and of course it hasn't been that long. I'm not saying he's getting like blackballed or nothing like that, but I'm just saying, what if like they tried, like what if they looked over there and saw that and they were like, nah, that's just not happening like on this card,
Like imagine you pull that on UFC 300.
300, bro.
Yeah.
Like, dude,
as long as we don't get that Atlantic City ref, we're chilling. You know what I mean? I'll take
the Leprechaun.
I'll take anyone over him, bro. He was trying to be a big boy that night.
For real, it's like when he had to stop the Bill Algeo fight and all that when he was fighting Kyle Nelson and stuff like that. Like I get it for sure, man. Like 100%. But that was really it though. I'd only said it because I was like, man, like if we don't see him like on this card, that's when I'll start to like. My theory might like be on or something. Of course, this is the biggest card in UFC history. They want the best reps available. Like I said, Mark Goddard is still good at his job, but it's just seeing like the result of what happened at that PFL event. Yeah, man, and that was it, Luis. I just really wanted to man. I don't know. I feel like I was onto something with that one. And yeah, Nikki, if your camera's having some issues, it's all good, man. Like
this happened last. It's the virtual background. I can't lie. That virtual background is making my computer freeze.
Where it's all good, straight.
It always happens like an hour or something then. But yeah.
No, it's all good. We're almost out of here anyway. Jesse on Fire. Word. Yeah, he's a funny YouTuber. But yeah, almost out of here, y'all. Thank y'all so much again for joining us. Thank you again for joining us for this breakdown, bro. But really love having you here, man. Thank you again for doing this, man. As we roll, here, bro. Absolutely, bro. As we roll on to the biggest, best pay-per-view in Ultimate Fighting Championship history. It's whatever, man. Bo Nickel, first round submission. All I want is a better step up coming out of this fight. Shout out to Cody Brundage. I don't disrespect no athlete, join any sport, basketball, football, soccer, tennis. I do not care. I don't want to disrespect no athlete like that. Putting his body on the line for entertainment. Shout out to Cody Brundage. It's just I think it's a bad matchup for him, and I think Bo Nickel might be generational. We have to find out when he fights better competition. And yeah, Bo Nickel by a first round submission.
Pick him, you got it.
I mean, Brundage. It's MMA, bro. 4 ounce gloves. How can you not give anyone? You gotta give people a chance, bro.
Of course.
I'm sprinkling Brundage around one. I can't pick him to win. He's not gonna win this matchup, but at minus 2,000 for knockout alone, knockout round 1 plus 5,500. Like, it's MMA, bro. It's 4-ounce gloves. I mean, we haven't seen Bo Nickel take a punch yet. How's he gonna look when he takes a punch? Can he take a punch? We haven't found out yet. I mean, Woodburn only landed like 1 shot on him, 2 strikes on him, and Bo Nickel, like the way he dips his head into range, like when the way he knocked out Woodburn, like I'm not the biggest fan of Brandes. I think he's a quitter. But I'm not a fighter, so I can't really be disrespecting him really like that. But yeah, Nickel's gonna get a first round TKO or Brandes gonna knock him out with something. I think at these odds, man, like I wouldn't be shocked if Brandes like catch him with something because he's got power. He knocked down Rodolfo Vieira a couple of times. I don't know if you guys remember that fight. Vieira's got a decent chin on him. He's not like chinny by any means. And Vieira's like got way more experience than Bo Nickel. But yeah, Bo Nickel by first round knockout. Submission is like minus 130, but I think it's gonna be a ground and pound stoppage. But if he gets a takedown, he's probably gonna get the wrestling and get a takedown and get him out of there. And Brandes, when he lands on bottom, and people are hammering away with the ground and pound, he just kind of turtles up, like he did against Jacob Malkoun. I got under 1.5 in a parlay, under 2.5 in a parlay, so I think we're gonna see a quick finish here, and I think Brendan's gonna go for it early. Then when things don't really go his way, he's gonna get just look for the door. Bo Nickel by round 1 KO, and I'm sprinkling Brandes round 1 KO also at plus 5,000, 5,500.
That's crazy payout. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah. I mean, Bo Nickel, he's really good. I'm not trying to jump the gun on him. Like, I want to see him like slowly progress. I think there's going to be a wall for him. I don't think he's going right to the belt. If that's what people ever think, I don't think he will. So I think he will get a good challenge in him. But he's just like a foot on the gas fighter. He's gonna press you with his striking or he's just gonna spam takedowns and submissions on you like quickly. I mean, everyone knows that, but in case anyone didn't, I was just throwing that out there. Bo Nickel win first round. It's anticlimactic. That's the only thing. I mean, it'll still be entertaining to watch, but like all of us in the back of our heads kind of know what it is. And if he loses, that's embarrassing as hell. It's MMA, anything could happen. But Cody Brandage's last 2 wins are by illegal elbows to the back of the head and by a slam knockout. So, I mean, and besides that, he's on a 3-fight losing streak. So, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Who would have thought Cody Brundage was going to be on the main card?
Yeah.
But, you know.
Because, you know, it's rare. You see like a minus like 1,000. You feel me? A minus. Even when you get to like a minus like 1,800, that's when you're like, holy shit, okay. But when you have a minus 2,500, bruh, that shit is like, he's literally one of the biggest favorites in UFC history. And again, because he was like that versus Val Woodburn, bruh. So it's like, I mean, I get it, man. At the end of the day, he's like any other mixed martial artist who's 5-0. They don't want to give him. They just do not want to fuck this up. They know they cannot. They want him to be undefeated for so long. So like they can just fight for the belt. I mean, they're putting him in the biggest spots. Like, I mean, Cody Brundage's on UFC 300, man. Like, that's awesome for him, bro. Like, for real, bro. It's just crazy, man. Shout out to my boy Grimy in the chat. Always sliding through, always showing love. Really, really cool guy. And yeah, man, we could just really move on to the next one. These next 4 fights are about to really bring us home. It's about to be pretty insane.
Last thing I want to say is no more cans for Bo Nickel after this, though. He's talking about Hamza fights. No more cans. Give him top 10 ranked after this, because it's like I'm tired of seeing can. I don't like when you're a prospect like that. Some prospects you want to see grow, but man, if they're talking about beating Hamza Chimaev and them, like, come on, man, give him a real fight. Then don't do this.
I agree. You know, because we just saw Peyton Talbot fight Cameron Simon, and those dudes are like almost the same age, and that was prospect versus prospect. And now we know how good Peyton Talbot is after finishing Cameron Simon like that, you know.
Or at least let him fight a prospect, but I wouldn't call Cody Brundage a prospect. Like,
I get it.
He's kind of just like a journeyman. Would you? I don't know. He's there. He's there. You know what I mean?
Right, for sure. And like, again, man, it's like Pick'em said, 4-ounce gloves, man. Anything can happen. Like the boy said, you know, this fight's pretty insane. When these dudes hit the ground, when the fight starts, period, it's gonna be pretty electric. Pick him. You can go first on this one, bro. Go ahead.
Okay, so I've been going back and forth on this one. I can't decide, bro. I was picking
Yep.
Oliveira for the longest time. Then I was picking Strukin after watching tape. But watching tape doesn't give me a lot of confidence. Strukin either. On the feet, he'll leave himself wide open. Sometimes he'll be throwing those body kicks, those axe kicks on the feet, like with Joaquim Silva. And he does have really good wrestling, though. His control, the wrist control that he'll control your wrist, your arms when you're wrestling you. But he wasn't able to hold down Joaquim Silva early. He was able to eventually tire him out. Joaquim Silva took that fight in short notice. He was able to tire him out. Eventually get in full mount and get a ground and pound stoppage in third, like last minute. And we've seen Joaquim Silva get knocked out in the first round by guys like Ricky Glenn and some other low level guys. And just you shouldn't be taking this guy into third round. And Joaquim Silva took that in short notice also, but he's on a good run right now. I mean, he beat Vanir Dariush. I had him there as my lock of the week over Dariush by knockout, and it was minus 180 when I bet a couple units on him there. So that was easy money there. Dariush has been super chinny his whole career. He's been knocked out like all 5 losses by knockout now. Joaquim Silva, he got rocked in the second with Joaquim Silva. Demir Zmagulov, I mean, his hype is kind of dead now. We've seen Demir get out wrestled by guys like Grant Austin. Joey Alvarez, that was impressive. The Alvarez fight, I think he beat Mantu's camera. But Mantu's camera, we're coming to find out Mantu's camera's stand-up is really sus. Like, he gets chinned all the time. He's been dropped like 5-6 times now in the UFC, every fight. Oliveira is as dangerous as the guys are in the UFC. He's got like 30 finishes or something in the UFC, like, which is insane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. I'm leaning towards Oliveira as a dog here, but I could see Strukin getting it done with the wrestling, with the ground and pound. Oliveira hasn't really been getting submissions off his back. He's more of he's more of a jiu-jitsu player where he'll take your back and then submit you with the rear naked choke. He can take your back standing up also. Also, Oliveira has a ton of power, way better striking, way better Muay Thai, and all the experience that anyone has. I don't think anyone has more experience than Oliveira at 155. Who's still in the top 5 right now. Yeah, I gotta go with Oliveira here. I think Oliveira by knockout maybe, which is plus 800. But I could see Iron getting this done too. He's 27 years old. He's gonna be hungry. He hasn't touched the title yet. But I know people keep comparing Strukin to Makhachev. Makhachev could be fighting at 170. Makhachev is a big lightweight, and he's like 5'11" or 6 feet tall almost. Strukin isn't that big, but Strukin has he's a really strong physical wrestler here. So either way, man, I don't think this fight's gonna go the distance. I think fight doesn't go the distance. It's a good parlay piece. I got both of these guys by I got Strukin by over 1.5 and over to win and over 1.5 in the parlay plus 140. I got Oliveira by knockout in the parlay. I got a couple of long shot parlays there. But yeah, either way, man, it's gonna be a good fight. It's gonna be a fun matchup. I think Oliveira right now is a dog. This guy's super dangerous on the ground, super dangerous on the feet. But he can get chained. We've seen him pull guard and recover because guys are scared to go into his guard. I don't think Strukin's gonna be scared to engage in his guard. I gotta go Oliveira by knockout though. But either way, man, this is gonna be a fun matchup. I think this is gonna be crazy. I don't think it's going past the second round though. I think we're going to see a late second round finish here.
Word. I'll go second though. This is my fight of the night, in my opinion. First things first, I'm gonna take Charles Oliveira in it. Just want to get that off the chest. See, the thing with Armin that's important is he's never done a submission in the UFC, bro. So it's him being on the ground. All he's gonna look for is ground and pound. And you've seen what it looked like trying to ground and pound against Charles when he was fighting Benny. I mean, he was just pushing you back with your legs. He couldn't even get a punch off. He did not get a single punch on Charles Oliveira's face when he was trying to ground and pound him. And Charles just holding him back with his legs. Charles good in the guard, I mean, he's one of the best jiu-jitsu guys in the UFC. And then there's the whole narrative Charles is chinny, he's a quitter. The Islam, okay, let's put the Islam fight to the side. I mean, we're starting to see Islam's really good, right? Let's just put that because everyone's saying he's in his own division in the lightweight, so let's just put that fight to the side. But like, when has he been a quitter since like his 145 days? You know what I mean? His lightweight run is like insane. He made Dustin, Justin, and Michael quit. Like, come on, give him some damn respect. People like to still bring up his past. Like, he's a different fighter now. But I think the Islam fight gets to people's head. And it's like Armin, he's chinny. He's been chinny recently. Like, he gets hit. Like, I don't think people realize that. There's a few, I was watching a little TikTok, like a quick edit. He gets hit and he gets hurt. Charles will hurt you and he'll follow up pressure, but Charles has the range in this fight. I mean, we could look at that real quick. Like I said, I'm big on the range. Okay, it's 1.5. I mean, there's the reach advantage there. Charles is just a long fighter, though, and he also, just like I said with Jalen Turner, he uses his reach really well. I think this fight's going to be a little humbling for Armin. Like, the only thing, like, we think he's going to wrestle, but he's not. It's not like you go win by pinning someone. You know what I mean? He's not going to submit him. He's not going to submit Charles. Like, that's not in my head. He hasn't won for one submission in the UFC. This fight's not going to be the one you do it, because that might just get him submitted by Charles. On the feet, yes, Charles can get hit. I think he's just going to use his leg kicks really well, throw them high, crack him. I got Charles. I don't know how he's going to win this one. It's hard. It's hard to really predict the outcome of this one for Charles, because, like, I don't know his path to victory. It can be a knockout. I think he could get some ground and pound. I think you can knock him down and ground him. Charles isn't Benny also, though. What do you mean by we could get to that after. But yeah, that's my prediction. I just don't think I think like Armin's good, but to have him as a favorite against Charles is kind of crazy to me.
Charles opened up as a favorite on DraftKings, so +140, I think.
People but it changed quickly, didn't it? Because months ago, like, I've had this parlay in where Charles has been a underdog for like a while now. I placed this like a while back, so it changed quickly after it came out.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, damn, bro, that's gonna be a clean sweep on this one. I got the former UFC lightweight champion, Charles Oliveira. I get it, bro. Like, a lot of people thought, like, you know, the biggest advantage Charles had during his title reign was that people wouldn't go to the ground with him if he were to get dropped, because, you know, he could do whatever he wanted on the feet with reckless abandon. If he gets dropped, these dudes aren't going to come to the ground with me. If they do, it's going to be their demise, you know. And now he's fighting someone that will not be afraid to go to the ground with him at all. I really do think that a component of this fight is Charles' experience. You know, I think he's faced the way better competition, finished the way better competition in devastating fashion, from knocking out Michael Chandler to choking out Dustin Poirier to choking out Justin Gaethje. And obviously he went through adversity in those fights, but it's better that happened because it showed that he's not a quitter. He went through all that stuff and still powered through to get the win at the end, because the fight was not going his way at first at all. And yeah, man, I really do think that this fight in particular, I think that Charles is low-key the better striker. with his crane kicks. So he has good boxing. His Muay Thai, he'll lift his knee up to try to bait out the feints. He has good feints as well, and it's really multifaceted, whether it's on the ground, on the feet. Really diverse striker. Anyway, Grimy is saying that Armin might be on a little something.
He looks fucking right now.
You got the Paulo Costa secret.
He's on a little something. I think that, like, it's Armin, for 5'7" to be not comp, that's the definition of compact. Like that, like, you're cramming all of that into one dude, and like how he's so like shredded at 5'7". I do think this is his division. I don't think he's, you know, even having the high disadvantages. I don't think, you know, he's a strong dude. Like he can get past that. We saw what he did to Joel Alvarez, who's 6'2", and he broke his nose with an elbow. So that was pretty insane. And all that blood was Joel's, not even Armin's. But yeah, even just to keep going with the fight, I was gonna go with Charles. Clearly the boys in the chat are really passionate about this one. And that is again, it's honestly one of those fights, man. It's honestly really close. I do agree with Ernie earlier in the chat. He did say that they didn't even bother making this fight 5 rounds, and I agree with him on that. man. Like, it's pretty unfortunate. The fight we're talking about next, the BMF title fight, caught a lot of flack because it's the BMF title fight, but at least that locked it in to being 5 rounds. Just Gaethje versus Max Holloway. And yeah, man, if you guys are done with this fight, we can go ahead and talk about that one next. The fight who will decide, for lack of a better term, of course, we got some kids watching this, the baddest motherfucker. You feel me? So this fight's pretty insane, obviously. I was pretty shocked when they made it. Not a lot of people thought it made sense, and I get why, because both these dudes were like on the verge of fighting for belts in their own divisions. But for the sake of UFC 300, this fight makes it feel like UFC 300. I never ever thought these guys would fight. It's crazy because Gaethje was driving Max around in Denver during his UFC 150 fight. And they were talking about going back and forth in the car, how they both want to go to the top and they both want to be UFC fighters and chase belts. And little do you guys know, those kids know, those young dudes in those driver and passenger seat, little do y'all know, as you're going back and forth, y'all are going to have to try to kill each other on the biggest pay-per-view in your sports history. Like, that's how crazy this stuff is, Those two probably never thought they were going to fight each other, but they have to. You can tell they don't want to, but when that bell goes, you're gonna try to kill each other, and it is what it is. It's honestly a pretty insane fight. For me, man, I was gonna go with Justin Gaethje in this one, man. I think the leg kicks are gonna be a big problem for Max Holloway. Max, the boxer, he leans real heavy on that lead front leg just naturally. I think Justin's gonna chop it the moment he puts it down. And if they exchange, I do think that Gaethje has more power than Holloway, but Holloway has more volume. I do think he'll have faster combinations. That's the biggest thing going for Max in this fight. It's just his pace, his pressure. How's Gaethje going to deal with the pace and the pressure? Because if Max has a little bit of added power due to the added, the added weight with the pace and the pressure, that's a hard fight to deal with. That's a really, really hard fight to deal with. We know how good Max's chin is, but I don't think Max has ever fought a power puncher to the degree of Justin Gaethje. This could be the first time we ever see Max ever get dropped on his butt, ever get sit down by a punch. It's literally never happened. This could be the first time. I do agree with Grimy when he does say Holloway is the better pure boxer. I do agree with that. The way he'll chain it together, how he'll do 1, 2, 3s, and in the fourth goes to the body, and he'll maintain some decent defense. We do know that Max Holloway has the most strikes absorbed in UFC history, but he also has the most strikes landed, and he has the most strikes absorbed because he's been here since he was 20 years old. That's over a decade. So someone was going to get that stat eventually, and in that meantime, he's also landed the most significant strikes. So I think that in terms of the skill sets, I think Gaethje's going to pay dividends in this one. The power with the combinations. We saw how he did against Rafael Fiziev with his technical ability. Really did good at really weathering that first round and really picking him apart in that second round, in the third round. And he's riding high with amazing confidence off a beautiful head kick knockout over Dustin Poirier. And in that fight, he fought another person you could make the case has better pure boxing than him, but he was slipping the punches. He was moving in and out. He was literally ducking under and then countering with left hooks. It was crazy to see him just really frustrate Dustin like that. And that really showed his evolution and how he really wanted to get that loss back. So yeah, man, I talked a little bit, but I'm gonna go with Justin Gaethje. Method of victory, man. I just don't know if this one go to. I mean, Max would have to really have taken some damage at the end, bro. If this goes 5 rounds, if this goes 5 rounds in the way that it's going to, oh man. I mean, Gaethje's gonna take a lot of damage too, bro. 100%. He's gonna take a lot of damage. And I do see what Nate is saying here. I just think in terms of when they get into the pocket and they start going boom, 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 boom with each other like that, Gaethje thrives in those wars. Gaethje's made for those wars. That's what he loves. Max, of course, has had those wars before, but Max mainly dominates And I think that also when it comes to the Fiziev fight, it's also the speed of Rafael Fiziev. And we know that Max will be fast as well, coming from featherweight. But Justin dealt great with the speed advantage of a smaller fighter at that. And yeah, man, this is a really close fight. This is a close fight. I get it, man. I think Max can win this fight if he comes out with a good jab at first, really start picking him apart with the boxing. Um, and it really just depends on whose game plan works out the best. But I'm not gonna keep talking. I'm gonna go Justin Gaethje by man. I'm gonna say Doctor Stoppage 5th round.
What the?
Damn.
I'm gonna say Doctor Stoppage, and then not off like him just taking like an ass beating like that. Not off that. I think it's going to be a major war. Both of these guys have taken a fair amount of damage. Max has obviously taken more, having the most strikes absorbed, 100% he has. I just think with how hard Gaethje hits, Max is not going to be afraid to strike with him. I do think Max will be a little swollen by the end of this fight. We saw how Volkanovski had him at UFC 276, and I do not think that Volkanovski hits harder than Justin Gaethje. And yeah, man, like, because I don't think it's like if it goes to decision, like, I'd be surprised, man. And that means Max taking a shit ton of damage. Same for Gaethje. I don't want to make it seem like this is going to be a one-sided fight. It's not at all. I just think the guy in like that's already in the division already, that already knows what the power feels like. He knows, like, he sees fought fighters smaller, taller. He's fought fighters that have speed advantages. This is just the best, like, you could say. Because, I mean, man, he fought Dustin, who's a good boxer himself. So, like, is Max a better boxer than Dustin? We saw how that went when they fought. So, I don't think he's a better boxer than Dustin Poirier. I don't think that at all, you know? So, I think that Gaethje can go out there and maybe, like, damn near, like, you know, put it on him, low-key. And I think that Max is going to come out with a lot of pressure. That's going to throw Gaethje off. Gaethje won't be used to that kind of pressure with him trying to walk him down with that boxing speed like that. We know Max has great cardio and a great chin. It's just a hell of a fight. Obviously, with how long I'm talking, that just shows it's a hell of a fight. And pick him. Please go ahead. I'm sorry about that.
I'm taking Max Holloway, man. I was leaning towards Gaethje before, but Gaethje, we've seen Gaethje break down before with the pace and pressure. When guys put pace and pressure on him, and he can break down guys, get an early knockout. He hasn't gone 5 rounds in a long time. When was the last time he went 5 rounds? He fought in 5-round fights with Habib and what was it, Oliveira fight, and 4 times he got finished in the early 2 rounds.
Also trains in Denver. Also trains in Elevation too.
I know he trains. Yeah, he's always out there running, but when you have a guy on you constantly on you with the pace and the volume, like constantly taking jabs in your face over and over, like landing knees up the middle, like Holloway, I think people don't really remember that Poirier fight correctly. People always remember, Holloway was getting pieced up by Poirier, and Poirier was landing the bigger shot. And that is true. But when Holloway was pressing the action on Poirier was like having a hard time moving, right? He was like constantly trying to move his head. And couldn't get away from the fence. He's eating knees up the middle, and he's lucky for Poirier. He was able to get a takedown on Holloway and control him for a bit, catch his breath, and recover a bit. Yeah, Holloway took that fight on 6 weeks' notice. So
yes, he did.
I'm a big Gaethje fan also, but I think Holloway is gonna be able to pull it off, man. I like Holloway as a dog here. I think Holloway can get a late TKO, man. I'm getting Holloway by a late TKO. I think it's gonna be a TKO stop. The referee stop is obviously, Gaethje can win this fight based on landing more output, not landing more output, more damaging shots on the feet. But I don't think Holloway is going to be standing in the pocket. Like, as long as he comes in with a good game plan, I could see him just staying on the outside, landing those teep kicks, those elbows, those head kicks. He's very versatile with the striking, and I don't think Gaethje's going to wrestle. He's going to throw down. And I like the cardio of Holloway. I like the pace, the volume. Also, Holloway is a better boxer than Gaethje also. I know Gaethje went out there as a dog over Fiziev, and people are really sleeping on Gaethje there, and he got the job done. But it was a close fight. Some people score that fight for Fiziev. I scored it for Gaethje because he won the third and second on. But I mean, he was getting landed on by Poirier too before he landed that head kick, right? I mean, if he landed that head kick on Holloway, I don't think Holloway's going to sleep. Poirier's been knocked out a couple of times. Poirier's been knocked a couple of times. Michael Johnson knocked him out. I mean, many people knocked him out before Connor knocked him out. Like Holloway she's got the best chin in the game right now, next to Marvin Vettori, I think. I think Holloway by 4th and 5th round TKO. I'm going Holloway by TKO.
TKO, word.
I think he's gonna break Gaethje, bro, with the pace and pressure.
Okay, man, this holy shit. Okay, go ahead, Nikki.
This 2-1. I'm gonna pick him, man. I got Max Holloway. I was thinking round 4. I'm thinking a round 4 stoppage for Max, man. And you're right. Like the last time Justin went five rounds, or even into the 4th round, it was against Tony Ferguson, and at a certain point, he was just fighting on autopilot because he was just landing, and he didn't have to worry about nothing coming back. So I mean, and besides that, he didn't really go into any other, deep.
Tony dropped him with an uppercut too. I don't think people remember that.
He did get caught early.
At the end of the first, at the end of the first, he recovered.
But after that, it was just autopilot. It was just
domination.
Because he let down on the strength and let more on the output. You know what I mean, or whatever. He wasn't trying to kill him. He was just trying to hit him. But man, Max puts together really good combos, man. And everyone's like, oh. I saw some of the comments earlier. It's hard to fight on hurt legs, and I know you were talking on that, Antoine. But it's like it's also hard to fight when your eyes swollen up. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. I think Max is gonna hurt him, bro. Like he went to deep waters with Fiziev, man, and Fiziev, like him not finishing Fiziev, like I don't know if Fiziev was like hurt in that fight. He's all bloodied up and everything.
He was bleeding, yeah.
Yeah. I like Max in this fight, man. He has really good head kicks. He throws them seamlessly, his head kicks and his 1-2s. He's just like a great boxer. And Justin's good, but in Justin's last 2 fights, his first rounds have been slow. And Max gonna get right to it. Max is gonna set his pace like as soon as that fight starts, and Justin's gonna try and feel him out, and that might lead to him going into the second round a little hurt. People act like they say Justin's getting smarter and smarter as it goes. But then at the same time, they're like, wow, Justin CTE, blah, 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 blah. It's like, it can't be both though, right? Like once he gets into octagon, it all goes away. This might be the fight where you start to see, because if this goes past the 3rd round, I do not like this for Justin at all. And I think Max could survive. I don't think he gets caught with that head kick. And I think he's preparing for the leg kicks. Justin's not Volk. Justin can't get in there quick 1-2 and get out like Volk did. It's a different fight now. Max is bigger. Max is bigger. He's more prepared. He done this at lightweight already. He knows what he has to improve. I like Max for this one. I say round 4 TKO.
Also, he's had time to put on size for this fight. He's not known about this fight for like the last 6-7 months.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like the last time when he took Poirier at 6 weeks notice.
If I had to bet on this one, I would just say go over the halftime limit on it. I would say over on it if it's positive money. That sounds
Although by TKO or submission is plus 750. Which is kind of crazy.
Do you think he could possibly get? I don't see a submission. Do you think that's something that could happen realistically?
I mean, if Gaethje's tired and he gives up his back, right? He doesn't really fight hands. But I can see TKO's more likely.
Once he's on that ground, he's gonna tap. That's the thing.
I mean, like, we got to see if he goes to the ground. Personally, again, I really think that when it comes to Gaethje, also, like, it's just also the experience in the division as well. He's fought guys that have crazy power. He fought Michael Chandler. He fought Dustin Poirier. I don't think Gaethje, he wasn't hurt at all against Chandler. He fucked him up, and then even in the Poirier fight, the first round, I really feel like that was him just trying to learn from his mistakes in like that first Dustin fight. I really think he wanted to assess it and really see what Poirier had for him first. That's why you really see him like slipping the punches, like really not really throwing. Like he didn't throw much offense that first round. He threw a little bit. It was a relatively even first round in UFC 291, but he did slip most of those punches, most of the hooks, because he watched all that film from the first fight. That's why in that second round, he just throws some feints, throws a head kick, set up beautifully, knocks him out. And that's why I feel like that really showed just the evolution of Gaethje's mind. A lot of people underrate Gaethje. I feel like a lot of people don't really treat him like a real martial artist. He can't throw great roundhouses, great leg kicks, great head kicks like that. Like, and even when it comes to the hands, like, I think Gaethje has good boxing combinations as well. Like from his hooks to his uppercuts, he has great uppercuts. Just yeah, man. Like again, it's a close fight. I do think that Gaethje will hit harder than him 100%. Max has the speed. Gaethje has the power. In terms of the grappling, I don't think he'll be able to take him down. Gaethje has amazing takedown defense. Especially being like a two-time D1 All-American. It just he doesn't wrestle offensively. And even when he took down Rafael Fiziev, off a beautiful takedown attempt, but he did that just to shut the fans up. And I really feel like that Justin, like, he can come out here and just get it done, man. He knows he has to win this fight. He's the lightweight. He's the dude that's in this division. He knows that this guy's coming up. He knows he hits harder than him. And also he has a great coach as well. I think Trevor Whitman's going to have a great game plan for this fight. And I really think that, and also if you're watching Embedded, as soon as he landed in Vegas, he started running like 5 miles, just 5 miles over and over and over. Watching all of his Road to Glory episodes on his YouTube channel, he took this fight extremely seriously. Running in the mountains of Denver and then running in the mountains of Nevada. Took this fight really seriously, and he's really real about his situation. He knows he's 35. If he gets one more title shot, it's probably his last one. Having lost, like I think he lost to Khabib, then he lost to Charles. This would be his 3rd title fight, undisputed title shot if he wins this. And I really think that. Even looking at the 291 performance, that alone just really showed how much better he's getting. He could have went out there and tried to really get it back and brawl, and especially knowing that's an elevation in Utah, and he could have went out there and blew his gas tank. He was really cerebral with his approach, has great footwork, how he'll move laterally, how he'll move side to side, in and out. And he still has a good chin as well. He got dropped by Charles. Even he said that he was shocked by how hard Charles hit. I think that shocked a lot of people, when Gaethje got dropped by Charles like that and then got submitted, And Max is known for having a notorious chin, but I do think this is the hardest puncher he's ever going to fight in his life. So we're going to see how it goes, yo. It's a close fight, you feel me? But we're going to see how it goes, man. Moving on to the co-main event of this card. Got the first ever China versus China title fight. It's really unfortunate, man. They couldn't just have this in China. It was a massive missed opportunity for the UFC. This could have been a UFC Fight Night main event, and I honestly would have woke up to watch it. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Zhang Weili in this fight. I think she can win it by decision. I think she's the better striker, better wrestler. She's really smart. Doesn't have to really worry about a crazy high disadvantage like when she was fighting Rose and stuff like that, or like a reach disadvantage and stuff like that. Really strong power. We saw her submit a great grappler in Carla Esparza, so we know how good she is on the ground as well on the feet. And yeah, man, of course upsets can happen. In terms of Yan Xiaonan, she's a great precision striker. It's her first ever title fight. She had one main event with Mackenzie Dern, so we do know she can go 5 rounds. But in terms of this, I think it's Weili's championship experience that will be the difference. And I was gonna go with Zhang Weili in this matchup by decision. I don't know if she'll finish it. I think it'll just be a fun fight, striking fight, and she'll win like 4-1, something like that. How you feeling, Nikki?
You said it perfectly. I'm taking Zhang Weili in this fight. They're really similar fighters. Zhang Weili has just a little better, a little more experience. That's all it really comes down to. There's no doubt Zhang Yan in sometime in the future she'll be a champion. I just don't think it's gonna be at UFC 300. Dude, that was it. Lemos, right? It was a Lemos fight when Zhang Weili was just the Amanda Lemos fight was just dominant, man, against someone who's so good at striking. Right. That was that's a master class in mixed martial arts, and it's hard. Like there's nothing for me that could just pick against after that. Coming off of that, your confidence is so high, and now you're fighting for your country. You know what I mean? This is like the top dog in the country. You know what I mean? That's what they're fighting for now. So I'm taking Weili in this fight. Pick them, you're up.
Yeah, I think Weili's grappling is gonna be the difference here. Yan Xiaonan, she's definitely making improvements in the grappling, working a team alpha male, but she's gonna be throwing more volume on the feet. I will say that much. But I favor Zhang Weili's power. She's also really tough. She's got the dog in her. fought the better competition also. Yan Xiaonan, she got a knockout in her last fight. That was her first knockout ever in the UFC. And the only reason she was able to get that knockout was because Andra was just spamming that left hook over and over and leaving her so completely wide open. And Yan Xiaonan hasn't really been known for power, but she was able to catch her with the right hand there and knock her out. Yan Xiaonan, I could see her winning this fight on volume, but I think Weili's gonna be smart. She's gonna get those takedowns, and she's gonna. I see a finish here. I think Yang Weili by TKO, or submission. She cast a submission prop for me for since he fought Carlos Barza. It was plus 800. So that was one of the best submission prop I've cast. But I think it's gonna be a ground and pound stoppage here from Yang Weili. Inside the distance, I'm playing inside the distance. It was plus 110. It's not even plus money anymore. It's like minus 125, minus 115. You might as well take fighters and go the distance. But it could go the distance for sure. But I think Yang Weili is gonna be able to get a late TKO. I don't think John Chernon is gonna be able to take damage that Lemos was able to take. Most referees would have stopped the fight. I don't know why they didn't stop the fight, because that was like the striking numbers were like 400 to like 25. It was like something ridiculous. And that fight should have been stopped a couple of times. Her ground and pound is vicious. I got Bailey by like a 4th round TKO or like 3rd round TKO. I think she's gonna get a stoppage here.
Yeah, man. Again, last thing I'll say on it, I really wish they did this in China, man. I really felt like, like they did it like this could have been catered to Wei Li. It could have been a real special night, and Jiangnan as well. It could have been special for both ladies. To be quite honest with you, but there was a missed opportunity from the UFC. But like, it is what it is. We know that UFC 305 is in Perth, Australia. It could have been in Miami, and literally been called UFC 305. That would have been pretty insane, But yeah, man, moving on to the final fight of the evening. Yeah, man, got the UFC Light Heavyweight Championship between Alex Pereira versus Jamal Hill. You can go first, Nikki. Go ahead, bro.
I'll pick him. You start us off on this one.
Okay.
This was tough, man. I've been going back and forth on this one. I can't decide who I want to pick here. But Jamal Hill is underrated. I think people sleep on his striking just because Pereira's a glory kickboxer, like 2 weight classes, a champion 4 times, twice in the UFC, twice in Glory. But Jamal Hill is like striking. This is a fucking dog, man. He's got the dog in him. He's tough, and he can take a punch pretty well. We haven't seen Jamal Hill get rocked. But to be fair, he hasn't been fighting the best strikers out there. Like, he fought Johnny Walker, and Johnny Walker was landing some nice hooks on him. Was catching him a couple of times with those hooks. And Johnny Walker's nowhere near the striker that Poatan is. And what scares me about Poatan, I'm leaning towards Poatan now, but because of the layoff and the injury for Jamal Hill. But I don't think Jamal Hill is as compromised as people think here. Also, I favor Jamal Hill's cardio here. I think he's going to be able to keep the pace later. He can get a late TKO also. But Pereira's like those leg kicks. And it's funny because Jamal Hill was making jokes about he was making memes about those leg kicks. Those
leg kick, yeah.
But yeah, I think those leg kicks, when you eat those leg kicks, because Pereira doesn't really telegraph those leg kicks, so you're not really going to be there to check those leg kicks and those body kicks. But what I will say is, when Jamal Hill pushes him backwards, when Jerry was putting pressure on Pereira, he was landing some nice hooks, bro. He was catching him, and Pereira doesn't really like fighting on the back foot. He likes to be the one pressing the action, pressing forward. And he likes space. He wants the space there so he can set up those leg kicks and go up top of the head kick, body kick. He'll just like keep you guessing as to what he's gonna throw next. I think that could help Poatan here. And Jamal Hill doesn't really have the best footwork out there. Like, he's a good boxer, and I could see him getting a knockout here too. I wouldn't be shocked a knockout either way. I think I have the unders in a parlay. I got Jamal Hill by TKO in a parlay also, round robins. I got a bunch of stuff playing on this card, on this main card, and I got the under 4.5 in a main card parlay. I think it's not going past the second, third round. Give me Pereira as a pick by second on TKO, but I don't know if he's gonna knock out Jamal Hill, because Jamal Hill has shown pretty good chin, but the layoff is concerning, and Pereira's been fighting the better competition lately. Like, the way he's been running through these guys, bro, like ran through Prochazka. Prochazka was able to take him down. So I hope Jamal Hill is smart takes him down and just ground and pounds him, because he does have some nice ground and pound when he gets a takedown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's going to be tough for Pereira to get back up to his feet if he gets taken down, because Prajka was able to get a takedown. Prajka is not nearly as good of a grappler that Jamal Hill is, in my opinion. And John Blachowicz was able to take him down also, but he just kind of gassed later. They were fighting elevation there.
And he's 40.
And, he couldn't really keep the pace there. And then obviously Israel Adesanya, Pereira was winning that fight before he got kind of way too reckless trying to get that finish on Izzy. I hope he doesn't hurt Hill and then thinks he's gonna go for a finish and leave himself wide open. I could see Hill catching him like that. But I think Pereira's gonna be able to get it done. I like the activity here, but obviously 36 years old now, so it's a tough one, man. But give me Pereira by second on TKO, but it could go either way. This is a complete coin toss here.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead, Nikki.
Yeah, this one's definitely a 50-50. One thing that I was noticing is correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anyone's defended light heavyweight since John Jones, right? Because Jan Blachowicz only unified the belt by beating Adesanya, right? Because he got the interim off of Reyes, right? And then no.
And when you UFC 259, Israel was stepping up after beating Paulo Costa.
Yeah, Blachowicz defended that belt
against Israel Adesanya, and then he lost at UFC 267 to Glover Teixeira.
Okay, fair. That's but this belt, it goes around a lot in this division, man. Due to a lot of injuries and stuff too. But man, he's coming off an Achilles injury, and I mean, the last athlete to come off an Achilles, man, you know what it is with Achilles in sports. It's bad. And then, who was it in chat? I just saw it. Not in the AM, bro. You said he locks his legs. He has bad footwork in his fights. He locks his front leg when he tries to throw an overhand. That's if you lock your leg and Alex lands on you, fight is over right there. Right then and there, you're going down. But the thing with it, it's Alex is chinny too. These dudes both could be Glover was landing on Jamal Hill. As much as Jamal Hill was dominating that fight and stuffing on the takedowns, Glover was landing on him. And Alex is going to hit harder than Glover. But, Yuri knocked Pereira's chin sideways in the fight. You know what I mean? Alex got knocked out by Israel Adesanya. Adesanya is not known for his power. Adesanya could knock a dude out. He knocked out Rob Whittaker, knocked out Pereira, but he's not known for his knockout power. He's just a really good striker. Great kicks, if anything. In my opinion, I think he just caught him with a good hook. But Alex gets hit a lot, man. I don't like that. I think Jamal, if the kicks don't get to him, if the leg kicks really don't get to him, this is Jamal Hill's fight to win.
You win
in the later rounds. I say 3 or 4. He gets a knockout. It's hard though, man, because you're having Achilles damaged leg and you're fighting Alex Pereira. It's hard for me, man. I don't really have it. At first I was heavy into Jamal Hill, but I like Alex Pereira, man. He's close to where I live, man. Connecticut, man. I don't know. What did you guys pick? I think I'm going Alex.
I picked Pereira by second on TKO, but he might not
get
a TKO
yet, right?
Hill's got a chin on him.
Antoine didn't go. I'm gonna take Alex Pereira by. I don't even it's not confident. Don't put money on this fight, guys. Please don't put money.
I get it. For me, man, it's really a matter of this, bro. It's really a matter of Jamal gonna take the leg kick. Obviously, everybody knows that he's coming off Achilles injury. It occurred back in July. It's April now. Aaron Rodgers almost came back this NFL season after tearing his Achilles. Like Grammy said, Kobe did it. Yeah, before he retired as well. I really feel that also, but what y'all were saying about Jamal's tattoo in the chat, the thumbs up, it's like a Michigan thing. It's like a thumbs up for the north side of Michigan. So he says yeah, he got it. He's from Grand Rapids, Michigan, in case y'all don't know. And he got that tatted when he was super young. He said he got it when he was super young. But yeah, in this fight, man, I really feel even after watching the fight at UFC 295, watching Glover Yuri walk down with his hands low like that was just man, you're just begging to be hit. You're begging to be hit. And he took the leg kicks better than I thought he would have. And that goes to show you that, like, you can survive the leg kicks. It's just for Hill's situation in particular. He's coming off an Achilles injury. Everyone knows about it. Israel almost knocked out Alex in the first round at UFC 281. If there's an extra 10 seconds, like, Alex doesn't even get the belt, and, like, all this is dead, like, at UFC 281, But, like, the bell saved him, and it was what it was, and he lost, and he lost the next 3 rounds to Israel, and he won the 5th. And yeah, hey, grimy. Yeah, like, that's what he said in like an interview. He said, yeah, it's at the north side of Michigan, like, thumbs up. Like, they'd be giving thumbs up a lot or whatever. But yeah, even then, going to Hill's skill set, man, I really think with this fight, bro, Yuri was hurting Alex, and he was, like, throwing, like, unorthodox stuff, like, compared to a dude that hits extremely hard. Has like Hill has like a 79-inch reach. Alex has an 80-inch reach. I think that Jamal can land the more cleaner, crisper shots than Yuri was. He's actually going to step down on his feet and throw straight shots at his chin, and he's going to have to take those punches. He knocked out Johnny Walker in a minute. He knocked out Jimmy Crute in 38 seconds. He changed Jimmy Crute after that, because that was a whole prospect versus prospect matchup. And that was like a minus 110, and he slept that dude in 38 seconds. He finished Thiago Santos, who everyone's going to say, oh, he was old. Magomed Ankalaev couldn't finish Thiago Santos at that point, and those fights were around the same time.
Santos just lost to 46-year-old Romero in PFL. I don't think Santos is
really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Picked Romero over Santos as a dog.
Damn, there's a card going on right now. Damn. I mean, like, we'll get out of here soon, so we can catch that in a minute, Nikki. Also, y'all definitely go check out that PFL when we're done. And yeah, man, like, it's like, for me, I think that Alex, we saw that Alex was getting wobbled in the Yuri fight up at 205. And I think that that's him getting wobbled by a dude that's not throwing straight shots. You could see after he won the belt and Glover put him on his shoulder, he's hurt. You can see he was hurt right there. You can see he was hurt. When he won the fight, you can see he was hurt because Yuri was going for that flurry up against the cage, and Alex has that counter left hook, drops Yuri, then he does the elbows, and it's over. I think Jamal is going to have a better game plan than Yuri. It's going to surprise Alex when they go toe-to-toe in the middle of the octagon like that. Jamal has a 79-inch reach advantage. We've seen him knock out dudes in the first minute of the fight on numerous occasions, and he's gonna fight a guy who's been knocked out already. I always say on this show, it doesn't matter if it was 20 pounds up, 20 pounds down. I always say, if you see a fighter that can be knocked out even one time, I don't care if it's their debut, not any of that, it can happen again. Best believe it. We saw Dustin get knocked out at featherweight, and he was also knocked out at lightweight as well. I get it. This is an extra 20 pounds, but Alex Pereira still walks around like 244. So he's still cutting a lot of weight to hit 205. It's a less 20 pounds. I get it. But at the same time, I really feel like people are really going off the leg kicks for the saving grace of Alex Pereira. Alex Pereira couldn't even knock out Bruno Silva. You feel me? So I don't think that it's this crazy, devastating Ngannou-like power that people make it out to be. If it was, he finishes Bruno Silva in the first round easy. He knocks him out. I mean, big knee, TKO, finishes Silva, elbows, all that kind of stuff. It was a close fight. Bruno Silva gave him a hard fight, man. Seriously. For real. And I get it, Santos, I get it, he took him to the 4th round, but again, that's compared to Magomed Ankalaev, where everyone's really high on. He couldn't finish him, and Jamal finished him with ground strikes. So I really, and also when it comes to the ground, people feel like Jamal can't grapple. We saw Glover Teixeira finally get him to the ground in the 5th round of UFC 283, and with that being Glover's only chance to really win that fight, he had those underhooks on tight as hell. He was ready to lay that ground and pound, and Jamal just slipped up, whoop, just like that, got on top. So that shows you that he most definitely trains that every single day, 100%. When it comes to this, I really feel like it's a close fight. I think people really underestimate how hard Jamal really hits. He has the same dimensions as these other light heavyweights. He is 6'4" with almost an 80-inch reach. It's like 1 inch. He even has a longer reach than Tom Aspinall. So, and he hits extremely hard. He has great boxing. He has good jiu-jitsu. He has great head kicks as well. He almost knocked Glover out in the first round with that head kick. It's just Glover is extremely tough, and Glover knew that was his retirement fight. That's why when the doctor asked him, do you still want to continue in a fight, he knew he could barely come back in. He was like, yes, I still want to fight. Don't even ask me that question. So he
that double head kick was crazy. The first one hit, and then the second one is like, yo, he's still on his feet. Like, that shit is crazy.
So, like, to me, that fight, I mean, Jamal Hill landed, like, it was like 246 strikes on Glover Teixeira. And, like, when Yuri lost that, when Yuri was losing 3-1 and got a submission in the final 28 seconds, I really feel like people really underestimate Hill's ability. Based off his personality, you know, a lot of people feel like Jamal's like salty and stuff like that. I just think he's one of these dudes online that like, yo, a lot of these fans talk shit and they think these dudes are just stone statues and they're not human beings. No, I'm gonna talk back to you because a lot of these fans say stuff that they would not say in the street. They wouldn't say in the street. If they saw Jamal Hill out in Vegas, some of those dudes are asking for a picture, be like, from those same dudes talking shit. You feel me? So I really feel that way. I really feel like it underrates his skill set, and I think he could come out here and knock him out in the second round, almost maybe in the first. It all depends how like the combinations go. And Alex Pereira is a great fighter. He's a future Hall of Famer. Clearly, he has great leg kicks. He knows how to use his striking combinations, like his kickbox combinations. He has great feints. How he'll paw with his hands to try to manage the distance like that. And then like he'll just whip the leg kicks. He's also great at checking kicks as well. Pereira is great at checking kicks. It's just I don't think that he has that crazy amount of power that people try to like make it out to be. He was piecing Glover up. And he couldn't knock him out in the first round. It didn't happen. He had clipped Yuri a bunch of times. He didn't knock him out in the first round. It didn't happen. Even when like he was fighting Israel in the first fight, they were trading. They were going back and forth, just exchanging. And like in Israel almost knocked him out in the first round back then. So it was like, okay, like this dude can be hurt. Even in kickboxing, his record was 33-7. So he has 7 losses in kickboxing. Some of them were by way of knockout. I don't have the stat in front of me, but I know he at least has like I think it's 2 losses by knockout in kickboxing. So and also that's another thing. That's 2 careers worth of a career. You know, like he could most definitely have taken a lot of damage throughout the course of his career. We have seen him KO'd. And even then, before he made it to the UFC, his other fight he had lost. You know what I mean? Of course, that was him just learning the game and stuff like that. He had took some years off before coming back to MMA. But my whole point is by saying all this, I do think that Jamal Hill is the more well-rounded fighter, 100%. If this fight hits the ground, I think he could get a submission. Hill only has like his record's like 13-1, so he hasn't shown much. I get it. It's really just been pure striking since he's been here with a little bit of grappling. But as he gets deeper into the UFC, he'll have these fights where he'll show his full repertoire, like in the Glover Teixeira fight, when he grappled from up under him like that. In my opinion, that was champion shit. That literally showed that he trains all of it. It's not like, it hit the ground and he was a fish out of water and he stuffed like 13 out of 16 takedowns. And like, so it's just like, yeah, man, I think he really does it all in terms of great striking, like good striking, good grappling, good wrestling. And I get what you're saying, Clips. Like, yo, this dude's like the #1 contender inside the UFC. He most definitely wrestles. Just because these dudes don't use it in the cage, he probably trains. He even said it on his podcast. They do 2-a-days when it comes to the grappling. It's either it's jiu-jitsu and then it's wrestling. You feel me? So, and they do that for like 10 hours a piece, they said. It's like 5 hours a piece, they said. So it's like, man, all that being said, just really feeling passionate about this fight. It's a crazy fucking fight. You feel me? Like my boys Pick'em and Nikki said, this fight can go either fucking way. This shit's a -110 down the middle. It's just, I do think that Hill can knock him out. Absolutely. I don't think he'd be coming back with his Achilles if he wasn't ready. He was going to fight at 301 either way, so he was thinking about coming back. There was no rush. He could have got a title shot at any moment. He has a lot of sponsorships that pay him out of the cage, so he would not come back for some damn money. I think he's coming back to get that belt back that he never lost. And yeah. And again, I can say all this, and he could lose. You feel me? That's just how it goes. You feel me? But I think he's gonna fucking win. And I was gonna go with Jamal Hill by like a second round knockout. It could happen in the first, just based off these two's power. I mean, to see how it's gonna go, but we're gonna see how it ends, man. And yeah, man. Great fucking card. Great fucking card, bro. Awesome card. We're clocking this in at 10:37 at night. Also, I do want to say, if any of y'all are going to UFC 300, my plane leaves literally at 7:45 in the morning Eastern time. So if any of y'all are going, I would love to meet y'all at UFC 300. Like I said, we just make picks on these cards. I don't care if y'all disagree with every single pick that I make. I literally do not care. It's all fun at the end of the day. It doesn't matter how much you break down a fight. Anything can happen in a fight, especially inside the Ultimate Fighting Championship. And yeah, if any of y'all are going to UFC 300, please let me know. I'll fly out tomorrow to go see this shit. And yeah, man, like that's really it, man. It's a really passionate card, y'all. We've been, Deep's been watching this stuff for a real long time. We're gonna get a lot of new fans in the 300 era. All the fighters you see are going to be gone by the middle of the 300 era. Most of them, like your Justins, your Charles, your Dustins, like your Conor McGregors, like your Israel Adesanya's. All these legends that we have, they're gonna be gone in this UFC 300 era. So just like appreciate that, and just yeah, man. Like, and also Colostrum.
Yeah, it's going to be a great card.
Fuck yeah, baby. And even Colostrum, to answer your question, now that we're done with the card, my favorite two fights in the whole card are probably Justin versus Max and it's hard, Justin versus Max, most definitely. And probably Charles versus Armin, bro. It's probably those two, Charles versus Armin and Justin versus Max. How you boys feeling about your two favorite fights of the night?
My favorite ones are Poatan and Hill and Alex versus Armin. I'm excited for Gatesy versus Max too, but I think these two fights are going to be way more crazy.
I got Charles and Armin, and it's tough. It's like an even split between Figgy and Cody, and then Aljo and those two. Like I just want to see Figgy and I want to see Aljo. I mean,
and yeah, man, like we've hit the post podcast edition, phase of this breakdown. It's a good card, y'all. Like I'm really looking forward to it. If I had to rate it on paper, it's 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 all the way. I just can't think of a better card on paper than this. I honestly can't. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I'm happy you're confident. Yeah, I'm happy you're confident, bro. Like, more confident than a lot of people on this card, man. It's a lot of close fights, man. It doesn't matter what people say. It doesn't matter what I say, what Pick'em Nikki says, what Clip says, what whoever. It's a close card, y'all. It's a fist fight. Anything can happen in this fist fight, bro. And betting odds mean nothing at the end of the day. It's just people picking. Of course, sometimes they are indicative of the result. They do show what's gonna happen. Like we'll see what's gonna happen with Bo Nickel being a minus 2,500 over Cody Brundage and stuff like that. But yeah, guys, this was just a great card. Obviously, you thought, okay. Thoughts on a Hill, Sterling, Sadiq, Jalen, and Bobby parlay.
That's I like that. I don't like putting the main event, but Sterling, Sadiq, Jalen, and Bobby's money. I wouldn't take Jamal Hill though, honestly. Just me.
It's close, man. It's close, bro. It's close.
I see the trend of the parlay, but I'm leaving Jamal Hill off of it.
It's close, bro. It's close.
This card is tricky for parlays, yeah.
Like it's close, man. It's like it's crazy, man. It's really tricky. Um, at the end of the day, man, you really just gotta just enjoy the card, y'all. Like enjoy it. The UFC 400 probably won't happen again until you guys have children. So enjoy this card while your father, while you're not a father or a mother, of course. We got some ladies watching this. Definitely enjoy this card while you have all the free time in the world. Some of y'all might have children now, of course. That's not going to stop you, of course, from watching this card. Of course, they might watch the card with you, start that family tradition. But yeah, man. It took 8 years to get here from UFC 200. Which is crazy, bro. Like going through all those 200 pay-per-views and like you like even seeing the 3 on like after the UFC, it's just really crazy to me. I went through all of college, like high school, with the UFC 200. So it's crazy. It really shows like dude's getting older. Definitely getting older. There will be a UFC 400. That's gonna happen. I'm 24 now, so I'll at least be 30 when that shit happens.
Imagine the fans in the next 10 years of what the UFC are going to be like.
Oh, God.
Bro.
The Conor McGregor Jr. fans.
It's going to be hilarious. We're going to get some crazy fans.
Like, for real. That's what I think about that, too, man. It's really going to be, like, just crazy, bro, seeing how it's going to, like, go to another level. Dana's 50 now. Dana might retire in these next 10 years. Like, Like
Dana said a power slap is bigger than UFC, NFL, NBA, and race. What's that fucking thing? NASCAR driving.
Yeah, NASCAR shit.
NASCAR. NBA, tennis, golf. I mean, he said it's all combined. They don't do numbers like power slap.
Mm-hmm. And even then, like I do agree with what an infected said. I want to follow this too, man. Like Raul Rosas Jr. over the next 10 years. I do agree with what he said, man.
I hope they make Rosas Jr. versus Colin Loughran. I hope they make that matchup.
Yeah, man, it's gonna be interesting to see. Like, he actually brings up a good point. Like all these dudes, like Tatsudo Taira, Muhammad Mokaev, like they're gonna be the dudes that carry the torches.
Maybe Cody Garbrandt on his next title run because he's about to hit his next prime. He's like 28 years old. He's about to hit another prime. So let's see about that.
Yeah, man. Like seriously. And like I do agree with Clips as well. I feel like a lot of the new school fans won't really be prepared for like 8-hour, 7-hour nights. On the couch. And before we get out of here, the boy Vulcan, thank you so much for joining us, Vulcan.
I don't even have a lock yet. I don't know who's the lock.
Man, it's really hard. It's really hard. You could say, but not even show no disrespect, brother. Like, I mean, damn, I don't even want to say because I don't want to sound mean. Like, I guess you could say Cody, maybe. I mean, like not Cody, but like Davison. Only because he's the highest betting favorite on the card. That's the only reason why I say that. The on paper favorite. He's on paper, biggest favorite of the entire card. So minus 300. So I would say maybe Davison if you need that for sure.
I think Harrison is minus 500. So Harrison's a bigger favorite.
Really? Is she really? What the
She's minus 500. Yeah.
Damn. No way. She's
minus 432 now. So it's like it was minus 500. So it came down a bit.
Okay. I mean that's still crazy. Like. If you're listening, Vulcan, Tai said Weili might finish.
Weili was minus 500. Okay, Weili's minus 500 now.
500. Okay, word. All right, but you can say Weili. Yeah, man, you can maybe say Weili. Honestly, if you want to lock for some guaranteed money, you can maybe say Weili, bro. You can say Weili. Be a decision. I don't know if she'll finish her. She could. Of course she can, but I think it'll end by decision. To be quite honest, but yeah, man. If you guys got anything else y'all want to add, that's really it for me, man. I loved every minute of this.
It was fun to break down the fights, guys.
It's awesome, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Of course, man. Love going back and forth. We all have our own opinions, 100%. But we're gonna respect each other's opinions at the end of the day. Because anything can happen. And
he called you Gideon. That's hilarious.
I'm saying, let's say it was that. It's pretty funny. I'm not even mad at it because a lot of people always say that. I was going home from work one night, and this fucking kid on a scooter, like he stops, and I see him taking his phone out of his pocket. He's about to like try to ask you for a picture. And he said, bro, I thought you were fucking tittying, bro. I'm like, yeah, I took the fuck off. And I was like, damn, I mean, it's just a fucking do-rag and shit. I got a haircut before this, so I, just wanted to make it like, I didn't want to mess the hair up on the headphones and stuff like that. It's a idiot. I'm dead. Yeah, I'm not even mad. I've actually heard that like 7-8 times. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, man, like, it's gonna be a fun card. I want to thank the boys again for joining us from Vulcan, MMA Clips, Ty, Infected. Like, thank y'all so much for joining us. Like Anakin, anyone watching this back on replay, thank you for joining us. Thank you to Amberly Rose for joining us. Like, everyone, man, thank you for Ernie for joining us. Thank you for Pick'em for joining us, man. I really appreciate it. Major friend of ours, good friend of the show. Go subscribe to this content. Always putting out live streams. I'm actually supposed to go live after this, so the man's
maybe later. I'm not sure. Maybe later. I got work tomorrow.
2.5 hours. It's our longest one. Yeah. Antoine got a little hyped on the Jamal Hill fight. That's why.
Yeah, man, it's really, really, really close fight. Really passionate about the sport. That's all,
we can see all finishes on this card. We can see all finishes. This is the type of card we could see all finishes on.
Right. Yeah, man.
Show out, get that little extra bonus. You know what I mean?
I agree. It's gonna be pretty crazy. Want to thank y'all boys again for joining us. Go out you girls as well. God bless y'all for joining us. Please subscribe to MMAHOLICS. We also do gaming chats as well, where y'all will see us play Call of Duty, any game y'all want to play with us or want to watch us play. While we chat MMA the whole time, we're not playing the game. It's just for you guys to watch. We're talking MMA the whole time in the live chat. Not even really any card breakdowns, just topics that we'll have listed, and you guys can add topics in the chat as we go along. And like being a boy band, like word, I feel you. But yeah, man, thank y'all so much for joining us. Really, really do love having y'all. Y'all see me in the chat all the time. Always love how nice y'all are. Always love talking to y'all. My boy Nikki as well. Love this dude. Love Pick'em as well. Love all y'all. Of course, always positive energy. You ain't never gonna see us talking no shit about anything like that, dude. Infected. I've been thinking about doing one for the longest.
Is that a game? I haven't heard
yeah. It's a game that on my PlayStation, and bro.
We play Days Gone. Days Gone is one of my favorite games to play.
Days Gone. I played that before too. Hell yeah. It reminds me.
I still play it from time to time on my TV and stuff, like with the controller.
Yeah, it's a great game, man. It reminds me of the Last of Us. If you ever got to play the Last of Us.
Yeah, the Last of Us. Yeah. What about BattleBit? You ever play BattleBit?
I got BattleBit on my PC. That's it.
Yeah, I play BattleBit on PC from time to time. I haven't played it in like months now, but I used to play BattleBit all the time.
Yeah,
Warzone is like so sweaty, bro. Like the Warzone is fun, but you're gonna be sweating your hands off and like
too much. Rebirth, man, them kids be running.
I don't want to be sweating like crazy.
Right.
You'll have a couple of fun games in the early going, then it gets way too sweaty later. It's just like
I agree.
Everyone gets so competitive, like they're playing for like 100K tournament or something. It's just not even fun anymore.
100K tournament?
That's how people play Warzone. But it's funny. It's funny. The reactions are funny though. Hearing people cry and stuff when you kill them, it's like it's so satisfying.
I agree. And again, guys, y'all just saw us chopping up about that. Please have our notifications on to see when we do go live. We play Nazi Zombies, Warzone, anything you guys want to see us play while we chop it up. The games get a little intense sometimes, so sometimes they can turn into just pure gaming sessions where we will get back to the MMA. But of course, please join us. Go like the stream, please. Always love having y'all. Go subscribe to the boy Pick'em MMA at Pick'em MMA right there. You see his name by his face. Really cool dude. Always live streaming. Always putting out lots of the week. Answers every single question in his chat. Super duper nice guy. And yeah, man, thank y'all so much for joining us. We really love doing this. 2 hours and 33 minutes. Thank y'all so much for watching. And yeah, catch us again when we're doing our next stream. Damn, man, I forgot
Manuel Cop versus
Yeah,
Nicolas Mateus. Is the
yeah,
next
yeah,
fight.
yeah. Mateus Nicolau. It's actually Cop pulled out, so I think
Oh jeez.
Mateus Nicolau. Yeah, we can talk about that for a second. You know,
We
because
might take a week off and talk about everything else. So.
like, you know, it sucks, man, because UFC 301 is on the way, you know, and I think the only reason Steve Erceg is even in that title shot, bro, that was supposed to be Cop, man. He could have beat Nicolau when it was originally scheduled. He would have made weight, and then he could have fought for the belt, man. Like, you know, like a regular title fight, been like the number 4 dude fighting for a title fight, you know, and I mean title shot. It's unfortunate. You know, we'll see what Manel Cop does. That's something he has a lot of potential. Just has to get the weight under control. I think he's getting older, so the weight cut's getting a little harder. But like, we'll see what happens though in the future. Definitely keep a lookout on our social media. Turn our bells on, so you know when we're coming live. And thank y'all so much for joining us. God bless y'all. And good night. And thank y'all again so much. And yeah, go subscribe to Pick'em MMA. Great dude. And God bless y'all. And good night.
I'll see you guys later, man.
Of course,
Thanks for
you
having
too,
me
bro.
on, by the way.
Of course, love.